What on earth is that? It's a Journey into Comics Network production! All aboard!
I brought my pencil.
What do you wanna do with your life?
Walk on home, boy. Yeah.
Like anything gets to say like you did before. Make it ring, make it bleed, make it really.
What is up, Deuterinos? Welcome to another episode of Rank 'Em All, the show where a couple of dudes or dudettes sit down and dive deep into our favorite bands or artists' discography, and we rank those suckers. We rank all the songs, which gives us the album ranks, and we get master ranks, and we figure out really what albums are the best from some of these artists. Today, we are still going down the trek of Metallica. We're on the last studio album, for now, of Metallica. We have reached Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Really good album that I am really excited to talk about and dive into with some of my favorite guys to sit down and talk Metallica with, starting with, of course, the one and only Podfather, Nate Phillips.
Bro, how's it going today, Brando? I'm happy, excited to be here. Hardwired to Self-Destruct, the album that is literally the album slogan of 2020. like we have arrived, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm super stoked to be here, and of course joining us as always, great to have him back again. Welcome the surveyor, purveyor, and monster master of doom, Nick Maxon.
What's up, guys? You ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
I feel like you're saying the name wrong. You're forgetting the dots.
Oh,
It's Hardwired
...
to Self-Destruct.
Yeah.
Just want to...
sure.
You got to make sure you pause long enough.
You gotta have a nice pause.
Are you supposed to say hardwired to ellipses self-destruct?
I think it's just Hardwired. Let's take a look, shall we? Get R&D on this.
It is hardwired ellipses to self-destruct.
Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Something like that. I'm admittedly not the expert, but you know, I like filling the space with my voice. So there we go.
I love it.
Good to be here.
Also here with us is the one and only Dr. Dongo, one and only Dick Blaine Tyner. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. It's Sunday. We're nearing the end of this project, and you know, I've had a really good go with this, but I'm ready. I'm ready to get through it.
Yeah, we are here at the last studio album that we are going to have for now. And then, of course, we're going to have one extra one after this. Since we did S&M 1, why not do S&M 2? And as what we're going to do...
Why not?
Yeah, why not, right? And, you know, because they did some songs that are, like, newer that they didn't do before, you know. So, it'd be cool to dive into some of those and talk about them. But also... we're gonna do like kind of a wrap up. We're gonna go through and catch up on some stats and stuff that we didn't do for the first 5 episodes because we were really still figuring out this show when we first started. We just sat down and said, here's an idea, here's a show that we could put up somewhere, and then it has evolved, and now it has its own feed on podcast services everywhere. It's on rankemall.rocks. It has its own website. So we're not Metallica is just the beginning for us. We're going to be doing some other bands and some other artists as we go along, and I'm really excited about what the future holds. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves because we do have the most recent Metallica studio album, which I'm super happy to have this on vinyl. This album sounds killer on vinyl. You know, as much as some of the mix for the last 2 albums maybe gets kind of criticized by some people, especially how loud the drums are, Lars. Interesting to note that the vinyl version has a different track listing.
And that was because of time on the 2 sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had to kind of find a better way to balance it because they would have run over and had a song actually get cut off.
Yeah, and so because this is a double album, there is a 3 disc version also. Do I have lyrics so we can like argue about that like we did in the last one? Trying to figure out what the hell James is talking about. I do have lyrics. I got little inserts with lyrics on them. I think they actually do have a 3-disc vinyl set, but I actually bought that new from this local vinyl place in Indy. I was in there looking at some stuff. That's where I got that and the Creeping Death single in the same day. So, like, really happy about that. Also, we just did some Christmas shopping. Chris, we started this project for Metallica, Rank 'Em all the way back in July.
Yeah, way to date this.
Well, you know what? Nobody else.
Transparency,
nobody,
bro.
yeah,
Gotta
you know
keep
what?
it real.
As we said, you know, we're keeping it real. When we started this, we didn't even know this was going to have its own feed. Now it's definitely going to have its own feed. It's going to be its own thing that, you know, that we're all going to contribute to. But back, all the way like back then and everything, coming forward. See, now I'm trying to remember what the fuck I was saying. You fucking interrupt me, and y'all like throwing me under the bus here. Oh no, vinyl, Christmas shopping. That's what. There we go. So, I only have a few Metallica albums on vinyl to get, and one of them just arrived today. And I'm glad to say that as we are approaching the end of this fretful year, ladies and gentlemen, I do have The Cure. There we go. Yep.
Is it a blood and semen colored vinyl?
It is one splooge covered record. Yes. No. So I got Load. I bought Load in the first S&M. So now all I have to get is Reload and a Saint Anger. Oh, and Garage, I guess, to be able to have them all. I actually said or saw a Garage listing on Amazon that I almost bought, but I noticed it was missing like 2 songs, and one of them was like Stone Cold Crazy, and I'm like, no, I'm not spending $30 for this vinyl to not have every song that comes on it. Even if one of them is a song I don't really care to have, I do want to have Stone Cold Crazy because I'm a Queen fan.
That I remember that being like one of your favorites.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm a Queen fan, so and I think they kill it. It's like Queen is such an awesome band that would be cool to rank one day because it's so varied. But again, not getting too far ahead, this is Hardwired to Self-Destruct, and the album was released. I do believe I don't even have my notes up. We were kind of get going. I had some issues with my computer. I do believe it came out in 2016. Is that when it came out?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yep. November 18th, 2016. The first single was Hardwired, released on August 18th. Of course, singles are released kind of differently now. They're more just like digital video releases. They did music videos for every single song on this album. That is something that's really neat. Some of them have them in them, and there's actually a couple that don't have them in it at all. It's something that something different. That's really cool to go see that. Also, something they did. Whereas, you can go buy the year and a half in the life of, you can get the Making the Black album, Some Kind of Monster, they're making some kind of like, Saint Anger. You can go on YouTube and find the, split together, compiled Death Magnetic making of that they released like a couple minutes at a time. But they actually did like videos for each song in the studio, them working on it. And it's like a 15-minute video for each of them. And it's really neat to see them just figuring this stuff out. I will say straight away, Kirk has no writing credits on this record because he lost his. Kirk Hammett has no writing credits because he lost his cell phone. He said he had he had hundreds of riffs on there ready to turn in, and he lost his phone. He didn't have them backed up.
I believe it was 400 riffs.
Something like that. And so
Gone. Gone.
I think somebody stole his phone. It wasn't just lost. I think it was actually stolen from him.
Fucking Dave Mustaine.
Hey, there's a drink.
Revenge.
Hey,
Served cold. All right.
Dave was like, "Here comes revenge."
So all the album tracks here are written by James and Lars, and Robert Trujillo has one writing credit. But however, he was in the studio helping them out a lot with like just arrangement and figuring stuff out. Kirk, I think, took a step back. I think I don't know exactly what was going on with Kirk at the time, but I heard he was kind of going through some stuff. And so he kind of took a step back, and he focused completely 100% on just guitar solos. That's all. He was like, that's what I'm doing here. And I'm anxious to see what everybody else has to say about it, because I have my own opinions. And we have a couple songs that we're going to tackle first that are extra songs, because there's a disc 3, as I said before, deluxe edition, that has a bunch of live tracks, including, really neat that they actually have this record. I mean, because they record everything now, but the Hardwired that's on the live CD here was the very first time they ever played it live.
that's amazing.
So it's pretty cool to have that, and to put that out. But the other ones, we have a couple covers and the extra song Lords of Summer, that's kind of cool. And we're going to start with those here in just a second. But we'll go ahead and talk about sales, and because we've been doing that in, let's see, platinums.
There's a real cool bit I found. That they're the only second band to ever have 6 consecutive #1 debuts.
Yep.
Followed by first one is it's so much fun. Dave Matthews.
Dave, you know what? Because I know Dave Matthews is up there. I know Disturbed is up there now, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
And
they
then,
died, I think.
Then Nickelback is also there, kind of in the. They at least have a couple. I'm not sure. They had a couple in a row. I know that for sure. But no, Metallica's like in rarefied air. I also saw somewhere, I don't remember what album it was for, if it was maybe Total Albums, or maybe they were just talking about Black Album, about sales, like they are the most selling band other than the Beatles. Like they were touting it. And they're like, you're like, we're the most selling band since the Beatles, and that's not bad company to be with. Like they're like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
for sure.
Let's see where I have them in order here. All right. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to start off with the 4 extra tracks. A lot of these tracks were released before the album came out. And the first one was actually recorded during the Death Magnetic cycle. And you can actually hear that. If you listen closely, it sounds like it is right from that era. Like they had all their instruments and their presets and their compressors and all their other stuff, all their amps tuned up to whatever their sound was. And that was Remember Tomorrow. Remember Tomorrow was released as part of the Made in Heaven tribute album for Iron Maiden. Of course, Remember Tomorrow is early Iron Maiden with Paul Di'Anno. I think it's on Killers. Nate, is it on Killers?
Yes, that's off the second album. So
I'm really anxious to hear what you guys have to say about it, because definitely when you think about Iron Maiden, a lot of like, especially like if bands are going to pay tribute, a lot of the stuff is kind of more of the big time hits. This is not. This is kind of off the beaten path. And that's what I really like about Metallica, is that when they cover a song that's not always the most well known, it's a song they like. So I really dig this cover. I did it. I digged it when they did it. We'll go ahead and we'll start with Nate. Nate, what did you think about Remember Tomorrow?
Oh, we're doing the cover first, not Lords of Summer.
Yes. No. I'm kind of doing them. I'm doing.
Sure.
Yep.
You're fine. Okay. Well, so I don't really have notes for the covers. I kind of maintained that from the Garage Inc. episode. Okay. I didn't want to. These aren't songs written by Metallica. Obviously, it's not their flavor and their sauce. These are, like you said, personal favorites that they love. Honestly, we're starting with Remember Tomorrow. Of the 3, it's weird because all 3 of these were really great covers, but Remember Tomorrow is very special. I love Iron Maiden. True story, I got to share the same stage as Paul Di'Anno in a weird, crazy turn of events, as being a fan at a show that ended up being on stage with another band for something that had nothing to do. It was that's neither here nor there. It actually does involve Metallica, weirdly enough, so I guess I will tell it. But like this little show happening in Tolono, Illinois, Paul Di'Anno is there, and it's funny because when he goes up live, before every song, he smoking a cigarette. He'll stop and he'll go, my voice is not as good as it used to be, so these aren't going to sound that good. And then he would sing and it would just not be that great because he obviously has destroyed his voice over time. But before that, there was some band, and I cannot remember for the life of me what their name was, but they were like on their last song, and they're like, we could play one more song. You guys want to hear an original or a fucking cover? And everybody was like, cover! Ah! So they're like, all right, if anybody knows this, join us. Come up on stage even if you feel. And it was dun, 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 dun. And I jumped on stage. I was the only person that even thought about it. I was like, we're doing Master of Puppets. And we did the entire song, and people thought I was in their band, and it was a bit that I was just chilling in the crowd until that like sniper moment or whatever. And I was like, I don't even know these guys' fucking name. I have no idea who they are. Like, they're just a band that's on this tour. And it was just like a cool opportunity or whatever. So that was fun and all. But
was that like a week or so after we played?
Yeah. It was like 2 weeks or so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember playing that stage and I was super dog sick. If you remember that. Like
I do.
There's only 2 things I remember from that night. Being that sick, and then while we were either tearing down us hearing Number the Beast. But it wasn't Iron Maiden's version, it was Iced Earth's version. When they were, I'm like, it's me and you looked at each other and I pointed at each other. Yeah. So anyway,
I remember. It's cold as fuck that night too. But yeah, Remember Tomorrow's awesome. I do have a rank when you're ready for it. That's all I have to say.
All right, Nick, you got anything for Remember Tomorrow?
It's not actually a song I'd heard before. and I was stoked because I saw it was Iron Maiden. I was ready to get into it, and it was a good song. Totally killer playing. Like, it's super, super cool hearing James and Kirk play Maiden stuff, because Maiden's just fucking monstrous. Maybe I need to go and listen to the Maiden song, but like, I just didn't actually like the song a whole lot. Excellent playing. But yeah, not a whole lot to say about it.
Fair enough.
Take a drink.
Yeah, there you go. What I will say about those first two albums with Maiden, with Paul Di'Anno, if you grew up, which I assume most of us did, listening to Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, to go back and listen to Di'Anno stuff is really off-putting, because he's not Bruce Dickinson. It is literally a different band. Like, they're still Iron Maiden, but they are a different band. He's more of a punk singer in a way. And so, like, but they have a different flavor. And so, like, when you're sitting there listening to him, you're like, man, this isn't as good as the Maiden I know. And that's, everybody has preferences. But it wasn't until I don't know, got a little bit older and like, I'm going to listen to these objectively as their own thing, because I can't compare him to Bruce Dickinson, one of the best frontman and vocalist in music history. Like, not just metal, music. He's a damn beast, no pun intended.
Hey.
And so I grew to like a lot of songs from those first two albums, and this is kind of one of them. It's got that metal. I don't want to say progressive, because it's not progressive, but it, like, just how it speeds up and slows back down, in and out, and like the dual guitars. But last but not least, Dick, you got anything for Remember Tomorrow?
I don't got much. This is I didn't really put a lot of stock into these cover songs in terms of listening to it for this. Lords of Summer probably is the one that stuck out the most to me, but yeah, it's Metallica covering Maiden. Sure. I mean, if anybody's gonna rightfully and righteously cover Maiden, it's Metallica, like an equal stature band.
So,
if not bigger.
Yeah, the Made in Heaven track listing is awesome, and I'm trying to find that. Wait, okay, I guess I'll accept your privacy cookies thing. Really quick, Black Tide, Prowler. That's another early Maiden. Metallica, Remember Tomorrow. Avenged Sevenfold, Flash of the Blade.
Awesome cover.
Glamour of the Kill, 2 Minutes to Midnight. Coheed and Cambria, The Trooper. Devil Driver.
Another amazing cover.
Yeah.
Wasted Years.
Wasted Years. Sign, Run to the Hills. Dream Theater, To Tame a Land. That's a good one.
Wow.
Trivium.
Medina Lake, Caught Somewhere in Time. Gallows, Wrathchild. Fight Star, Fear of the Dark. Machine Head, Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Another amazing cover.
Yeah, Trivium, Iron Maiden, Year-Long Disaster, Running Free, and Ghost Lines of Brave New World. That was released from Kerrang as a big tribute to Iron Maiden way back like in 2008. So yeah, it was right around that Death Magnetic era that they went ahead and did that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll hit it up with Dick first. Do you have a rank for this one?
Since it's Maiden, it automatically gets a pretty high score. So I'm just gonna go with 8.5.
8.5. And Nick?
I give it a 6.
6. And Nate?
Drink up, guys.
I actually can't even believe I'm going to say this, but my score mimics Dick's 8.5.
8.5. I gave it a 9. It became one of my favorite Metallica covers until this one, as I punched my microphone in excitement. So When a Blind Man Cries, this is a Deep Purple cover. I am a Deep Purple fan, and the thing is that Deep Purple is a really cool progressive band that are also known for writing the most simple riff of all time. Like, the starter lick that everybody learns on guitar is Smoke on the Water. Now, they're not Pink Floyd progressive, but they dabble, and they do some really cool stuff, and this song is one. I remember when I was going through listening to Deep Purple, and I'd never heard this one, and I heard it, I'm like, man, that's kind of a cool, trippy little song. And then when Metallica started doing it, when they started doing their acoustic sets a couple years back, and then somewhere along the lines, they recorded it for this one. I really dig it. We'll start with Nate on this one. Wait, did I start with you last time?
You did.
Screw it.
Start with me.
Screw it. Nick this time.
All right, my first note on this one is it's just fucking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The vocal delivery, Just the way that they're playing. About halfway through when it fucking kicks in a little heavier, it's just fucking awesome. The lyrics are so good. I know he didn't write the lyrics, but just the way that they were able to, like, it feels like I don't say it feels like it could be their song, but they do it so good. I fucking loved it. I thought it was amazing.
Considering that Metallica is a glorified cover band, they really they're good enough to not, like, with their own stuff, and they've established their own style. When they do a song, they don't just automatically play it exactly like the other band played it. They're like, how can we make this sound like something that comes from regurgitated out of our sensors? And I agree with you, Nick. I believe they did that here as well. And we'll go to Dick next. What do you think, bud?
So I listened to this about 2 hours ago. I mean, on top of all the other listens, but I barely remember it. I know I don't hate it, and that's all I have to say.
We're gonna fight.
I'm so glad Nick.
I didn't
said
put a lot of
it.
stock
God
into these songs.
We're gonna.
He didn't put a whole lot of stock into this show. That's all I'm saying. Anyways,
Nate, you're next, bud.
man, I just want to piggyback on everything Nick said because he eloquently spoke my thoughts about how beautiful and masterfully done this song is, and there are so many working parts. The lyrics are great. The delivery is flawless. Like, of the three covers, this was my favorite, hands down, far and away. And just to quickly join the game, as we do every time, this is the first song we're talking about so far that actually has live performances, as this has been performed a total of 5 times live by the band Metallica. So yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome. And we'll start with you, Nate. You got a rank?
Yeah, 9.5 or 9.25. 25.
All right. And Dick
7.5.
and Nick.
I gave it a 9.
9. Samesies. I gave it a 9. I love it. When I first heard it off of one of their acoustic things, I'm like, at first I'm like, what is this? And then I'm like, I really like it. And I feel like the studio recording is just up here compared to what just their acoustic stuff. So it's awesome.
It was such a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, again, just like with the Remember Tomorrow cover, out of left field, just like, like, to me at least, I'm not sure about diehard Deep Purple fans, like, how do you not know this song? And it's like, no, well, like, I didn't until I dived into the band. That's not the one that gets plays on the radio a lot. That's not like just general fandom, But the next song is another medley, like Merciful Fate. This is Ronnie Rising medley. This is a tribute to Ronnie James Dio and his time in Rainbow. This was a part of the Dio tribute album that came out a couple years ago that also had Grammy Award-winning Tenacious D doing Last in Line. That they won Best Metal Performance for that. And some people were angry about it, but I gave it a big salute. I'm like, that's awesome because it's a badass cover.
Yes, it is.
You also had, I think, some team-ups. Corey Taylor did Rainbow in the Dark with some other guys, and you had some other stuff going on. But I think Chris Jericho was on there doing something.
Probably.
And Lizzie Hale, and just a bunch of Scott Ian was involved somewhere in there as well. So a lot of
Scott
big.
Ian's always involved.
There's like a video somewhere of all these guitarists playing the Game of Thrones theme song, and it's Scott Ian. I'm like, oh, hey.
That is such an amazing cover too. Just quick jump off. It's like 8 guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got Ben. Or
DB Weiss, one of the guys too, like one of the directors or creators of the show.
It's so epic. It's
awesome.
Epic.
Anyway, the Ronnie Rising medley, I believe, has a couple different songs in it: "A Light in the Black," "Tarot Woman," "Stargazer," and "Kill the King." And oddly enough, I already knew "Kill the King." "Kill the King" I had heard a long time ago. From a band named Heathen. They had covered it, another like metal band from the 80s. And what was funny is that, like, to hear that, or to hear them say that, and then like Megadeth did a Kill the King that was nothing like it, and I'd heard that first. So then I'm like, wait, what? Like, oh, this is like, wait, egg, chicken, like duck. They're like, this is not even the same animal. But no,
Moo.
no, this medley's badass. It's a really big long one, clocking in at just over 9 minutes, and they really kill it. I absolutely love it. We'll start with Dick on this one.
Okay. So I'm not super familiar with Dio's work besides Rainbow in the Dark and Holy Diver. But yeah, this song just kicks ass from front to back. He definitely captures, he, as in James, captures like that spirit of Dio. Like he might not be hitting the notes that Dio did. He might not be fucking reaching out there like Dio did, but fuck, man, he killed it. The whole band killed it.
You could tell the parts like that he was doing, and he was doing a fine job, but you could go like, oh man, Ronnie was fucking going off right there. He was just fucking getting it right there.
So yeah, I really dug this medley. Again, they're a glorified cover band, as you've said many times, Brandon. And this definitely is up there with the Merciful Fate medley.
Oh, dude, it totally kicks, and they're paying tribute to one of their friends, and you know, like fellow metal, like one of the people they idolized when they were like starting off as a band, like, you know, like they like Rainbow and Dio and all that kind of stuff, and it just like to be able to salute one of their heroes, like that's very important to them, to give back. You know, and I think we've said that on this show a couple different times over the course. It's like when they first did the video for One, it was about, well, we said no videos for a long time, but now we're big enough to where if we do a video and somebody clicks on us, or now, but like back then, watches us and likes us, and then, you know, they might find Megadeth, or they might find Iron Maiden, they might find Motorhead, they might, you know, all this other great heavy bands that are our friends and inspired us. It's like it's better for everybody, you know, and so they're always about that. In fact, again, James Hetfield in their Hall of Fame speech he said his thank yous, and then had a long list of bands that deserved to be there before they got in. You know, it's like now that we're in, these guys, come on, like we cannot be,
possibly.
Yeah, and so like it was just like they're always about giving back, and that's what they did here as well. We'll go to Nick next. What do you think about this medley?
Again, because it was a cover, I didn't write a whole lot of notes. My one note is just totally killer all around. Every single part. They killed the Light into Black intro. I'm just such a huge fan of dueling guitars, which they were able to sneak in there a bunch of different times. Like with the Merciful Fate, they are so good at medleys. Like they're so good, and you could probably do this without realizing that it's a medley.
Yeah,
get through it thinking that it was just a really badass song. On top of the fact that it's, you know, Dio, it was fucking awesome, super cool.
Nate.
Another no notes, all heart. I do love how they covered this song. I do think it encapsulates their appreciation and admiration for the man Ronnie James Dio, and I think the heart and soul of him is found within this song. I gave the song an 8.25, and just to clarify to those watching at home, a couple things here. First of all, Ronnie Rising has never been played live. At least on their site, they don't have it, so they've never played that live. I will also mention, if you're playing the Rank 'em All drinking game at home along with us, right now on this episode, something just got added that's going to be there the whole time everybody else is playing along. But anytime Metallica is mentioned as a glorified cover band, you're going to be taking a drink, baby.
That's a good
God. Oh, man. So, like, even if it's just like, does that rule get disqualified for Garage Inc., or is that album, or is that like, don't, you know, this, you know what, guys, look.
Hey, we have a drink responsibly thing on there, so it's at their own discretion.
This is a podcast, and a lot of people listen to podcasts in their cars. Don't do the drinking game while you're driving, please.
No,
please don't
do that. You know, sit back with your, sit back with your homies, and you know, like, or by yourself if you want to, in your lounge, in your chair or whatever, kick back, or watch us on the YouTubes, or listen to us, and, like, you know, follow along with your own ranks if you can remember to write them down by the time you're done with, like, anyways, we'll go with the ranks now. Nick, what was your rank?
I gave it a 9.
9. And Dick?
I'm with Nick on that one, 9.
I gave it a 9.5. I love it. It is Boom, top notch. The next song, Lords of Summer, was actually released, as I said, I believe it was in 2014. Yes, March 19th, 2014. And it was just, hey, it was a new song, right? And it was performed live, and it might have been made available on digital stuff, but it wasn't physically available until here. They threw it in on the deluxe edition. Lord of Summer, it's got James, Lars, and Rob with writing credits. I really dig the song. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of callbacks lyrically. Are you all right, Nate?
Yeah, I just noticed something about Lords of Summer. I was raising my hand to just I can clarify. They did on June 20th of 2014 actually release a single that was both digital and a 12-inch vinyl.
Oh, that's neat.
Of
little collectible
of Lords
out there.
of Summer.
Yeah,
Yes,
a little collectible.
It has the first pass version, which I'm guessing is like their first go at it,
Mm-hmm.
and then one time when they did live at Rock in Rome.
Okay, yeah, because I do believe I read somewhere that they did absolutely just re-record the song for the album, but it didn't make the final cut for the dual. It was on the third disc. No, there's a lot of callbacks lyrically to some other stuff from the Metallica past, and like thematically, the riffs. So some of these riffs remind me, and you're gonna hear this a couple of different times as we get into the main album. Harkens back. Like, this reminds me of like something you would have heard back, like just the straight like all the way back on Kill 'Em All the way back on Ride the Lightning. You know, it's very fast. You know, I really like the song. It's not like lyrically, it's not the most deep, thought out song. It is a fast, thrashy song. You know, I do believe Dick said it on My Apocalypse. It's thrash. You know.
That's thrash.
But we'll start with Nate on this one. What do you think about Lords of Summer?
Let me go to the notes for the first time in the episode. Heavy and attacking tone, which I think you talked about having a lot to do with the fact that it was from the Death Magnetic era, so that kind of carries over into their sound. I love the Gallop riff. It's thrashy and whiplashy is how I wrote it, because it has that whiplash vibe.
That's exactly kind of what I was thinking.
Exactly hidden in there. It's really beautifully done, though. Lars definitely goes mental in this song. There are moments where I'm just like, dude, you're getting old. How do you keep getting faster? Like, what drugs are you taking to keep your body still doing those things? Tell me. No Remorse callback, like you said in the chorus, as well as a Four Horsemen callback in that same chorus. The drum lead shift in the middle is fun, and it's also a little bit unexpected. The drums kind of cadence into the next bit of the song, which I really like. The solo is a little lacking, but that's only until they get to that dual lead action, and then it fucking shreds. There are some fun jam sections in the song, and to give that beautiful number of live performances, we have seen Lords of Summer performed a total of 41 times live.
Nice little respectable number for that, especially, you know, I mean, that's got to be just them, hey, you know, we have a new song, you know, and we want to play something new. But awesome. We'll go to
8 years between albums, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that sounds about right. They're just itching.
That was the first song in 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Interesting to note, as the day that we are recording this is the anniversary of Quebec Magnetic being released.
Hey.
So I thought that was kind of cool. When I saw that little post today. But
and I've just added another one to the drinking game. Every time we mention a different medium of Metallica, like a DVD or a VHS.
Oh, shit. You've already done it today because I already mentioned the making ofs and stuff. Oh, God. All right. We'll go to Nick next. What do you think?
All right, drinks up. I don't got a lot to say about this one. It didn't get me too excited. I wrote nothing memorable right before the solo. And what I'd said goes along with Nate. Like, it has a couple cool things in it, but when the dual guitars come in, it really caught my attention. But not my favorite Metallica. Wasn't bad Metallica. It wasn't no Cure, but it didn't get me going.
All right, and Dick.
I remember when this song, way back in 2014, all the news, the rock news media outlets were like, Metallica just played a new song live. Here. And then there was like a bunch of shitty versions, and then I think they finally like released like a really actual decent live version from their catalog, since they record everything like you said. And I remember listening to it back then and being like, I was excited because I was like, sweet, I love Death Magnetic. Let's hear this. And I was like, this is kind of, it's okay. But now, I guess 2 years later, when Hardwired came out and I listened to it again, I was like, this is still pretty okay. Fast forward 4 more years to this project, and I'm like, I like this a little more now. But yeah, you guys have said it all. I mean, it was a great track to put out to the fans, somewhat satiate,
Yeah.
and I'm really glad that they put it as like a bonus track, because it honestly, I say that it could have worked on the album itself, but it's also a bonus track. It either or, it's fine. It works. I think it belongs on Hardwired.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think it does belong on Hardwired, and I just think it's a fun song. Like, yeah. I don't take the song too seriously. I feel like they were having fun when they wrote it. I think James was having fun when he was throwing in the running, no remorse. He's like, because to him, like, hey man, this sounds like kind of a very Kill 'Em All style of just attacking with that riff, and so I just feel like they're having fun. So Dick, we'll start with you. What was your rank?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
9. And Nick?
5.5.
And Nate?
Oh baby, time to throw in a weird wrench number. I gave it an 8.15 for some fucking reason. I don't know. It's on there, man. I was in a mood when I was listening to the song, and instead of writing a 2, I wrote a fucking 1.
I'm just
That's what happened.
Against a drink. Let's do it.
Take a drink, guys. That's such a weird one.
You're far away from it. Even though I didn't rank it very high, I do want to echo Brandon's sentiment. Not just with this song, but for me with the whole album. It feels like James in particular is having a blast.
Oh yeah,
he fucking
hear it. You can definitely hear it.
He killed the vocals on pretty much every song, and you can absolutely hear it in his voice that it feels like he's having fun. Absolutely. So even though I didn't give a shit about Lords of Summer, I definitely do remember that. Yeah, it definitely, and with the video and everything, it's just like, you know what, they're having a good time. I'm happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I gave it a 9. I dig it. I dug it when it came out. I dig it now. And now we are ready to hit into the album itself, the Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Or Hardwired
to Self-Destruct.
All right. Had to get it right. The first track is Hardwired. It was also the last track recorded for the album. Yeah, it was the last one. They had all the other songs done.
Interesting.
And they were like, man, we need we need something to just because they couldn't decide how to start the album. There was a even a talk of having Spit Out the Bone start the album. And
holy shit, but how do you top that?
Well, and that was the argument of okay, then where do you go from there? It was like they needed something that was basically, the idea was to sum up the album in the first track, sum up the attitude, and also they were like, what if it was like a short, we have a lot of long songs, what if it was like more of a Misfits style of by the time you're into it, it's over, so there was some inspiration from that as well. And that's also where James heard the line, a friend of his told him, some of us are just hardwired to self-destruct. And it was a line that stuck with him. And they wrote the song. To me, Hardwired, okay, so this was the first track that came out for a single. I remember being super excited for it, having flashbacks to the Death Magnetic era when, running home from work, literally just left my car at work and I just ran home. I was that excited. To go and hear, The Day That Never Comes. And then, getting home, and it's like, and it just starts off with the I'm like, wow, all right, I wasn't expecting, and literally, just like I had said, just like they were talking about, I was head banging and bobbing. I'm like, what? All right, and then it was over. I'm like, wow. And to me, it literally, this song especially, you could copy paste this song, put it on Kill 'Em All, and if it sounded like Young James and shitty production,
Slade.
You could have fooled me.
Yes. Yes. I feel like I want to preface my entire review of this song on that. You're absolutely right. If this was on Kill 'Em All in Kill 'Em All era, I bet I'd love this song a lot more than I do.
Yeah, because the lyrics are pretty basic. It just the riffs are there. They're fast. They're heavy. The solo is quick. By the time one part I do like about it is there's that little fast vocal part before the end of the song. Nate, do you know what part I'm talking about?
Once upon a planet burning, once upon a flame, once upon a fear returning, all in vain. Do you feel it?
Do you comprehend?
Yeah.
It's like really fast. It's like it changes like.
And then that riff follows it, and it just like starts to go off the rails.
We're so fucked. Like he is just in that vocal booth, which when you watch the making of, I really like his vocal booth. It's like he has a mood room for his vocal booth. They have blankets put up. He has a lamp. He has lozenges. He sits there with his guitar and just plays along like, whoa, just trying to figure this stuff out and have fun. And I really like the song. We'll start with Dick first and see what he's got to say.
Yeah, this song is it's short,
Mm-hmm.
probably one of the shortest Metallica songs.
Probably.
The entirety of their catalog of long ass songs. Sometimes long ass repetitive songs. Well, this is a short ass repetitive song, and it's short, it's sweet, it kicks ass, it kicks you in the face. It's got punk rock all over it, it's got fucking thrash metal all over it. And as you guys were saying, it's just they're having a blast. Like I watched like I think 2.5 hours of the making of clips from Hardwired compiled together in one video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like they're just having fun the entire time. Like James is just like they're not being serious about it the entire time. They're just having a ball, and I love it. And it shines through on this entire album.
Awesome. We'll go to Nick next. Wait. Yeah. Have we gone to Nick already? Nope. All
Quick
right.
note. You type in shortest Metallica song and you get absolutely nothing but shortest straw links.
Technically, that is the shortest Metallica song.
Is it?
No.
I don't know.
No, it's not. I'm just saying by title.
Right. I went and looked too, and I mean, it's 3:11. And I
That's
thought,
pretty short.
Fuck, that's incredibly short. So I kind of alluded earlier. This is not my favorite song on the album. I love the intro. I was super stoked because I'm one of those like, I like the album. It needs to kick. You need to show us what we're getting into. So they open up with that riff. I'm like, oh fucking okay, all right, here we go. But for me, it was I'll say stock. The first solo was pretty decent to me. I can't get over, and this has been for years, the way James delivers the "we're so fucked" line. I hate it so much. I don't know if it's his delivery or if it just sounds fucking silly to me. I don't know. But overall, I would say I thought it was a pretty decent first song overall. So,
and see, like that's become a running theme. So take a drink for that one. Anytime that we like compare the opening songs.
Ooh, I just actually added one. I said anytime the word stock gets mentioned, because that gets thrown around like ninja stars on this show.
Ninja Star, do they have a Ninja Star logo?
Hey, see what I did there?
Holy shit.
Unintentionally.
we're getting
Oh man. Yeah, like as far as opening songs go, this is definitely the shortest, and I think it does kind of like it gets your attention. They
Yeah.
wanted to get your attention. They wanted to kick you in the teeth, and they didn't want you to sit there for 7 minutes with an opening track. So like, let's do it short and sweet. Hit it. Let's go. Nate, I do believe you're next.
Oh, yes, sir. And my notes say this. Boom! Right into that thrash feel that makes this band so good. They do have that thrash vibe. They are able to pull it back to their roots, which is beautiful. The main riff verse is simple. You guys have said it, but it definitely has a nice jam to it. I mean, you could still groove into the song. There's nothing that turns me off from wanting to listen to Hardwired. If it comes on, I'm going to just keep it on the radio and groove. The first solo kicks, and one thing that I really wrote to note is that solo has heavy Fuel vibes. Like, really go listen to the solo of Fuel and then the solo of Hardwired, and they, not the same notes, but the feel is like, oh man, Kirk just said, let's go into the well. And I know I might not have any riffs, but I know the well. Let me go down there, and he sunk down into it. Lars blasting off doubles in this song is, again, just to mention his age and how incredible it is for him to be still doing it at this level. And this is not even the fastest he will be on the album. This is just like dipping his pinky toe into the water before making the splash. Lyrically, the song is very to the point. And that's all my notes say. Now, I do have the number. If you're asking live performances, this one's a pretty tall tale, as it's 161 live performances.
Me and Nate went to the show where they opened up live with it.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yep.
Last year.
I'm wearing. Yep, this is the tour shirt. Broke that out for this one. But also really something that they started doing as far as tour shirts. They try to have their own poster and shirt for each and every city they go to.
The one we went to was a cool spider thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They got a guy that just does a bunch of art for all the cities, and a lot of times when you go to when they go overseas to Europe or to other countries, they'll work in the flag of that country into the design. So
That's really cool.
yeah. All right, Nate, we'll start with you then. Rank
8.25, brother. Get right to the point.
0.25. And Nick.
All right, two things. One, my rank is a 6. Second, after a little more research, Loudwire.com says that Hardwired is the shortest Metallica song, followed by Motor Breath.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Another Kill 'Em All track. All right, awesome. And Dick.
This is a killer way to start the album, so I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
8.5. I gave it an 8. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. I remember I was so excited about it. I played it for a friend of mine, and my friend was like, I don't really like it. I'm like, what? How can what? Anyway, so then I do believe the next song was a single. It's getting harder to like dive into singles because they literally released a new song like almost every month until the album came out.
Can confirm this was a single on its own. Atlas Rise, released October 31st of 2016.
And when I first heard the song, I was a little underwhelmed. I don't feel that way anymore. Like this was kind of a grower.
Atlas Rise, not a shower, a grower.
It's a grower. It's not.
Right.
It literally is right.
Got it. Right.
Oh shit.
Oh man, that was good. So the more that I listen, okay, so like I didn't really start liking the track until the album came out, when I was actually like dissecting the songs. And it was probably not even till like a couple times through, because I'd already started getting some other feelings on other songs later that I'll bring up. But this song gave me really heavy new wave of British heavy metal vibe. And I was listening to it. I'm like, man, this sounds like this way that they're doing the dual guitars, the structure. it reminds me of something that you would have heard like from an Iron Maiden or a Diamond Head or just one of those early bands that really inspired them. And one of the lyrics that I really like, which I later found out was actually kind of cool. Blame the world and blame your maker. Wish him to the Undertaker is a direct call to the WWE's Undertaker.
Nice.
My dumb fucking nerd brain saw the word Undertaker when reading the lyrics and immediately went to WWF. I was like,
that is what James meant. He had him in his mind when he was writing it. He was coming up with stuff to say. Taker's a big Metallica fan, and James is a big Undertaker fan. So that was his little, way of just like give and salute. The chorus to this song, I never really. That's the part of it I think that turned me off the most. Because it was the da 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 da, and then the vocals were like, "Die as you suffer in vain, all with the grief and the pain. Die as you hold up the skies, Atlas, rise." And I was thought that it kind of like, I don't know. I didn't get into the groove of it. But as I started dissecting a little bit more into it, I like the song a lot more now than I did then. And we'll have Nick go first.
I'm glad you chose me because what I really like with this podcast in this format when people just do not agree. What makes me love this song is the chorus. It gave me Maiden-y vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how spastic it was. This thing is chock full of good riffs.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of good riffs. Like I said, I love the chorus. Lots of dual guitar shit that I just fucking love. I put pretty damn good solo. Followed by at around 3.5 minutes in, I'm seriously, I rewound the song because it was some of the best Metallica I've heard in albums.
Are you talking about when the riff shifts to like the dun 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 dun? Oh my God, yes.
The second half of this song is like they have woken up from a 15-year slumber. It was so fucking good for me. So,
Wake the sleep, giant, wake the beast.
yeah.
I am biting my tongue at you, Nate, trying not to spit back.
Ooh, I like the double entendre there. Okay, continue, Nick. I'm sorry.
That's pretty much all I've got. I guess I'll just give a slight spoiler. Like this song, after I was done with it, I was like, this shit might actually fucking kick. And the album continues to kick after this. So as much as I wasn't a huge fan of Hardwired, I heard Atlas Rise. I'm like, okay, they're still trying to kick my dick in. So I'm going to give them the chance. So,
Hell yeah.
Still trying.
Yeah.
They do it. They do it. I'll say they do it. They kick my dick in with this one.
As I said, this song, it took a while for me to really like dive into it. And I think it was more so I hear exactly what Nick said. I hear all these influences. And the thing is that I didn't get it when I first heard it or going into it. It was not until I was later on to the album and my other listens that I'm like, this song, this and this, I hear this here, I hear this here. Then I restarted the album one day. I went, oh, wait. I was too harsh on this song. And just like you said, that chorus, I didn't like it. But there is a Maiden feel in there. Absolutely.
That's why when you said it, I was like, yep, right there.
We'll go to Dick next. What'd you think?
So I too did not originally love this song back 4 years ago. And I'm just going to say this, I have not really listened to this album since my initial listen 4 years ago, the day it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a giant fan of the song, mostly because of the chorus, because of the way it just syncopates with the music, the way James syncopates the lyrics with everything. And now that's actually the thing that saves it for me. I mean, I don't mean save it as in this is a shitty song, because this is an awesome song. And but now that's the reason I love this song.
So I don't think they do it very often.
No, not entirely.
That's not a very Metallica thing to just.
But I love the lyrics. I love the imagery of Atlas holding up the sky, and or James comparing someone to Atlas, and it's cool.
Feeling like you have the world on your shoulders, kind of deal, you know. All right, Nate.
Okay, so this is twofold because I have a little short story that goes with Atlas Rise because there was a really interesting thing that happened to me. But before that, let's get into the notes. Notes are as follows. I wrote classic angular riffing. Take a drink. I love all you bear. That's one of my favorite lines. Is just the way he delivers that with such angst.
I love all you bears.
Chorus, all the bears. I love all the bears. Yep. That does not come out right. I do not love all the bears.
All you bear,
Don't
all you
text
carry.
Chorus has epic vibes, literally epic. I mean, and Nick nailed it with the way the riffage is working with everything else in the song creates the epicness that is that chorus. And we'll go back to that in a minute. Super catchy and groovy riffs also throughout. The lyrics are very powerful. Nick, again, sharing your sentiment. The midway breakdown to the solos is seamless and really where they come alive. The exact 420 mark, shout out to you stoners, is an old school epic and one of the best on the albums. And I love the fun misdirect outro. The way the song ends is not how you really would expect it to end. And then I really do enjoy that. Now, quickly, the story, actually, let's go to the number first, and then I'll tell you guys the story. 124 live performances, including, as actually, Brando and I saw one of the last live performances of Atlas Rise. It was only played 2 days later in Michigan was the last time it was played. So, yeah, we were some of the last people to see it live perform, which is cool.
When was that? What year was that?
Last year in Indy in March. And to piggyback on that whole March thing. So Brandon and I were in the building, and there's this whole, like, he's over there, I'm over here. I'm with my dad, my sister, and her boyfriend and husband guy. And we watched the concert and we go home. And the next day I've got to drive home. And on my drive home, this song, when I'm listening to it in the car, it hit me that I had just seen Metallica live, and they were like my band, the pinnacle of who I need to see live. And I literally, driving in the car, wept listening to this song because the chorus, as soon as the chorus hit, I remembered being in the audience and feeling it and was like, holy shit, man. Like, there was no greater experience than being in that crowd in that moment. And this song is, to me, their best work on this album. And that's just my personal preference. Maybe not your guys' the same exact cup of tea, but when you're looking at my rankings versus the rest of the album, this is where I said this is the best they did, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Ironically, Nate, I teared up during the Ecstasy of Gold intro.
Bro,
Like,
how can you
Didn't
not?
make it very far.
No, I didn't. I didn't even make it on the way home.
My God.
Well, and the unfortunate thing is that, like, when I bought my ticket, there was literally no one that I knew who could, like, come up and say, yeah, get me a ticket right now. Like, so I was literally there by myself. And as I was coming into the building, Nate happened to be wrapping around these steps right at the same spot. Like, that was like, just like all these people, 18,000 people in this building trying to get in. And me and him are like, what's up, dude?
Fated appointments, you guys. Fated appointments.
But, like, no, I'm with Nate. It was one of the, like, the achievements. There's not too many other bands I feel like I got to see Sabbath and Maiden, and that's awesome. Like, I can say I did it. If I never get to see them again, I could die happy. But Metallica was one that really bugged me that I hadn't had a chance to see. You know, they are the heavy band that started me down my path. They're the reason why I fell in love with Iron Maiden. Just like they want people to do that. So, Nate, you got a rank for me?
9.75, near perfect in my opinion.
And Dick
9.5.
and Nick.
You guys make me feel like I have to preface this, but the rank is based on all Metallica songs. I feel like I have to say that because I really, really fucking like this song. I still give it a 7.5. Yeah. I've been doing it so hard, like going back through my old ranks and thinking like, do I need to change shit around? And there's a lot of, so for this one in particular, it's Black Album. I go back at the Black Album and I see where those are ranked, and I'm like, well, fuck. So now I'm comparing these songs to this and that. And generally I'm pretty happy with the way I've done things. But yeah, I'm gonna give Atlas Rise 7.5, which is honestly, you guys probably know, like top tier for me.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're in the 7s, then you're in the top. So
that's something that we could kind of look at going into the finale episode for this
average rank.
What we can do is that we could go back, and if there's anyone that after you've had time to brew on it and go back and look back at what you did rank, it's like, would you change it, or like would you it won't cement it in stone because you already ranked it, but it's like, all right, you know what, that song, now that that was 3 months ago and I've heard it again the other day and I like it more than I thought I did. So that's something that we can do too. I gave the song a 9. As I said, it was a grower. It rose into itself for me.
This has been brought up in the last fucking episode because God, if we started the grower shower thing album,
That was a whole drinking game in and of itself.
Oh man,
I
wow.
would say that for the longest time, I thought it was Atlas Arise, not just Rise.
Boo.
It works still.
30% paying attention, huh?
Sure.
Let's not do that. All right.
The next song, Now That We're Dead. I do believe that's also another single. It was April of 17. They had 6 singles from this damn thing.
Half the album.
True that. This song clocks in at 7 minutes. And let me just say, this is like low-key one of my favorite songs in the album. It kicks.
Same.
This song, okay, so this isn't the most technical song. Obviously, Atlas Rise was a technical beast. Then you get to this song, and Metallica has this ability to get into this pocket that when they're in there and they're grooving, you're moving your head. And I don't think that this was intended to be this way whatsoever, but I get Sandman vibes from here. From the build-up, it's not Sandman. I mean, this isn't Sandman Part 15 like we were talking about like on this albums before, but as far as getting into that pocket, that with the drums and the guitar and everything coming together, and I remember seeing the video for it, and it's like they're playing just in this room, but it's like you never really see their faces. It's so weird. It's like, and whenever this song comes on, I love the little like kill switch intro, the little just you're hitting that switch. Wow. I love the drums in the intro, the little he's just hitting all these different kind of fills, and it's that Sandman type build up intro. Just okay, we're going somewhere, and then he just hits that little top, and then they just kick into it. And then they go back out and lay back, and he just comes in with the vocals. It kicks. I absolutely love this song. Nate.
So sweet. Now That We're Dead, jamming out the gate. You said it, fun drum cadence on the toms. I do love that. This song for me, not Metallica vibes. Even though it's a Metallica song, it doesn't give me Metallica vibes. First thing that came into my head, No More Tears. 100% No More Tears vibes. I can't not hear it every time I hear this song. I love the line, all sinners, a future, and all saints, a past, because that is so true. Anyone who is fucked up in their life can move forward beyond what they were, and anyone who thinks they are living a perfect life probably has some shit in their past they're not too proud about. And that's just a beautiful, again, James calling from personal experience, James pulling in from his inner and saying, I've moved from my demons. I have an opportunity to move beyond that, and you guys can too. And I love that. More angles. We're angling. It is a rule. Yes. Oh, totally.
Okay.
People are getting wasted on the angle rule. And that doesn't count when I call it the angle rule. That is not a drink. But when I mention that there are angles, that's the thing. So the drum roll transition really works. The solo kills so much that I actually, in real time, listening on the Zune, pulled out the air guitar. I pulled it out, and it was
Stop it! They're dead already. They're only.
Stop hitting him. He's dead already. Stop it. He's dead. He's
I hope you
died.
guys are drinking light beer.
Yeah, for real.
for this
Well,
episode.
my hope is if you're a Metallica fan, you're probably a seasoned vet drinker at this point. I'm just saying. And also, I will mention.
Oh.
I will also mention I have considered making the game adjustable for all non-drinkers who only partake in the marijuana bowls.
Oh my gosh!
Because then you could just get really high while you listen to us talk, and that could be fun too. I mean, you might like the songs more by the time you're done. Not worried about not remembering the ranks. You're like, that song was a 6 and now it's a 14.
Dude,
Yeah.
they got Cure wrong. Okay.
They were wrong about the just gotta be getting the right headspace, man.
Have you thought about the Cure, man? Like, really thought about it? Just fucking, like, it's right mindset, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm dead here. Let's see. The last parts of my notes here say back into the chorus, hits so hard, we can live forever. And I love that line. And another thing to talk about the actual now that we're dead. I think that that's a cool way to say, like, sometimes you don't know your legacy, and you can't as a living person know your legacy because your legacy will only come out after you're gone, and that could cause you to literally live beyond your wildest dreams and actually be immortalized.
You live in other people's memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that coming out of the solo and the song backs away a little bit. The dun dun dun, and he goes like dun now now. He's like, he starts like that gave me Outlaw Torn vibes.
Ooh, yeah. Brandon, do you know a really interesting stat about this song?
What is that, my friend?
That the way they played it when we saw them was the first or second time they performed it in that specific style. Do you remember what they did?
Oh, they stopped in the middle, and for the it was like a big long break in the song, and they did like everybody got on like different drums. It was like these big
Drum cube things.
Drum
that
cubes
came
like,
from
toom. Yeah.
And then they all started like doing this really cool like drum cadence where all 4 members of Metallica were drumming in sync with each other, and it was really fucking cool.
Down. Yeah, it was really neat because it's like, you know, it's awesome to go see a band live, but it's also something like when they're trying to like entertain you beyond just play the songs. You know, like for some bands, you have a big stage show. Iron Maiden has Eddie running around, Bruce with the flag and the red coat and all this stuff.
Ears and fucking, it's a stage show for Maiden.
Yeah, you know, and Metallica does the same thing. They got some different stuff that they try to do to entertain you, with pyro or different things, and this was one of them, and it was different. Like it was just like something in the middle to kind of like, all right, let's do something different here, and then like it didn't really overstay too long. Back to you, Nate.
Oh, also, I need to well, that was the end of my notes, but I do need to mention the numbers times played live. Which is 127 live performances, a lot more than I was actually expecting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Consider it was released in 2016.
I mean,
that's a lot of fucking plays for such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
They played it for it, like it had they had to bring this out for a lot of the shows for you know, like in support of Hardwired. But Nick, we'll hop over to you next.
So, wasn't excited going in. Now That We're Dead that's a stupid fucking name to me, which has no bearing on the song whatsoever. So, Then it comes in, and I love the nice and long. To me, it was like Black Era intro.
Mm-hmm.
My notes go like this: really dig the first verse lyrics. I've got a couple more notes, and then I say, okay, fuck it. All the lyrics are really fucking good. Really
real
well
time or note writing.
and like I said, like I was like, I fucking hate the name. This name, like, I don't know why it's just a dumbass name. Then I got to the chorus and I'm like, oh, okay, I fucking really like the name. Fine. The chorus is admittedly really cheesy, but I just really like it. I like the delivery. I thought it was fucking awesome. And I thought the solo was unique. It was different than some of his other stuff, and I really liked it. So, another banger. I really liked this song as much as I went in, and it's so funny. Like, you just see the title, and you're like, I ain't gonna fucking like this song. It's like, oh, never mind. It's totally fine, and the title's perfect. Never mind. Fuck. Okay, you got me this time.
All right, Dick.
So I really like that Nate brought up the No More Tears vibes, because I don't get No More Tears, but I definitely get like 80s rock out of this. Honestly, I told you, Brandon, I said, were they just listening to like a lot of Scorpions, like Love at First Sting, like a month straight and before they wrote this song? Because if we could go back in time and place this recording of this song of Metallica on Love at First Sting, just somewhere in it, and come back to our time, nobody would be mad about it. I think it would fit perfect on Love at First Sting. And I love that album. Scorpions are fucking badass. So, yeah, you guys have all really said it all. I really love the theme of this song. I love the themes I originally had, but have now been updated due to you guys talking about it. I saw this as like a love song. I mean, it's hard to not think that with the lyrics of the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're dead, my dear,
Right.
we can be together. I mean, I guess that's a shallow way of looking at it, but that's me. So, yeah, this song kicks ass. You guys have all said it.
I really like at the end for the last chorus when he sings the chorus at like a different register.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't just sing it again. He sings it like it's like, I don't know, like up here a bit. It's just like, it's almost like if he was on 8 or 7 before, he just knocked it up 1 or 2 or 1.5. Because it's just like, I don't know, it just makes it impact more. It's like, because it's like hitting you right at the end.
Well, it's the final chorus. You know, it's really got to grab you and bring it home. That's just production 101 right there.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dick, we'll start with you. What was your rank?
Oh, I'm giving it 9.5.
9.5. And Nick?
I give it 7.5.
See, straight up banger for him right there, 7.5. And and Nate?
Let's split the difference and go with an 8.5.
8.5. Wait, hold up. Dick, what was yours? 9.5?
Yeah, 9.5.
All right, I actually went to you instead of Nate. 8.5. I gave this song a 10.
Nice.
Yeah, I love this song. I absolutely love this song. Anytime, this song, like if I'm cruising and it's on shuffle and I hear the then this is like cruising music for me. It's like all of a sudden my foot's like, I'm on cruise control, right? And my foot starts hitting that pedal a little bit harder. I start my own car. In fact, no, I don't even have my foot on the pedal. My own car is like, no, we're going faster now. Can you imagine? You have the speed controlled volume. You know how when you go faster and
it gets louder, yeah.
But when you slow down to go to like a stop sign, like it turns your radio down. Can you imagine if it was reversed? You had volume controlled speed.
I want to listen at this loud, driving me that fast. Let's see how we go.
Sorry, officer. I was listening to Death Magnetic. Original mix.
Original mix. Nick stepped away for a second, but we'll go on and carry on. I'm sure he won't mind. And we'll be talking about Moth into Flame. This was, if I remember correctly, this was the second single. Came out September 26th, 2016, one day before the anniversary of Cliff's passing. The theme behind the song is about basically being that celebrity and getting caught up into your own into that own downward spiral. And one of the weird kind of inspirations for the song was, oh, come on, I just had her hit like the Amy Winehouse, yeah, yep. Well, because it's just like she was a talent, and then it just like
Drank it away.
And literally
Just watched her deteriorate over like a few months.
Yeah, like because it was bad. It was almost like everybody saw it, but she just nope. She wouldn't listen to it, and she did her own thing, and unfortunately, it robbed her of her life so short, and then it robbed other people from what she could have put out there as far as music and art. This song gives me heavy Justice vibes. I don't know about you, but when the song first kicks in with the dual guitars, I get some Justice vibes. But I also get Four Horsemen vibes.
I still get Scorpions vibes.
There might be some Scorpions vibes.
I love it.
My notes, the first line involves the vibes. Literally, it
Oh,
says
God.
what my vibes were. So when you get to me, I'll tell you what my vibes say.
All
I
right.
mean, it could be Scorpions, it could be Docket, it could be any of those bands. It's great.
Okay, so you have Blacked Out, Pop Queen, Amphetamine. Some of the lyrics in this is just really cool with how he was able to like really unique versatility with his rhyming. Blacked Out, Pop Queen, Amphetamine. The scream crashed into silence. Tapped out, doused in the gasoline. The high times going timeless. Decadence.
The delivery is some of my favorite delivery James has ever done on any album ever. On this song, those verses, the way he spits out, like you're saying,
so
good.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. So decadence, so time has taken its toll on you. The lines of crap your face, famine, pestilence. Well, what you have gone through and what you have put others through. It's not the same.
Oh,
It's not this, but it's kind of like decadence, death of the innocent. The pathway starts to spiral, and then I tell you what, I fucking dig this song. The fucking dude, like they kind of like turn it up a little bit with the light it up, light it up, and then you get this cool little like lead part in there. And then you get this awesome solo. I love the way that he delivers it, and where he does like this dual like vocal thing. So just so build a higher wall, and it just kicks. Also, Nate, I'm gonna steal a story here from you. Probably seeing it live. When they do the song live, they have drones that they fly out of the stage. And they all have lights on them, and they're all like fireflies or moths flying around the stage.
And they're individually, cohesively programmed to work together like an actual swarm of firefly. It's fucking nuts. They also fucked the song up when we saw it live.
So Kirk,
Correction, Kirk did.
yeah, they went to start it, and Kirk hit he was like a half a beat in, and they just stopped and looked at him.
Essentially, it was an 8 count from Lars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ba da da da. But Kirk came in on 6, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he was the only one playing, and it sounded so bad. And then they were like, "Hey, we each get one fuck up a night." He just used his.
Well,
That's I'm playing.
What's up, Nick?
Like that was yours. You ain't got no more.
Now, interesting to also note that fuck up has caused, if you do not have the ticket to get the download for that show, if you just download the Indianapolis version of that concert, Moth into Flame is not on there. Just FYI.
They fucked up that bad.
Well, it was just a fuck up at all, so they chose not to add it. If you weren't there at the show and know they played it.
that's interesting. That is really interesting. Because I've got the album here.
While we're just kind of just kind of all spitballing here.
Nope.
I love
I have it.
Well, yeah,
Um,
if you had the ticket, you got it, but if you
Oh.
don't, you can't.
Because anybody can buy it.
Correct.
But if you have the ticket, you get it for free. Okay, I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
I really like the writing on this one. And I do the same kind of thing that I'm getting ready to bring up on the, let's call it pre-chorus. Light it up. Oh, light it up. First it's kill the truth. Then it's tell the truth. Then it's no excuse. I fucking love it. It's the same. If you're not paying that much attention, it's just the same pre-chorus.
It's cool lyric progression.
But it's not. The song itself progresses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like at first it's like, deny it, and then it's like, come on, dude, say it. And at the end it's like, dude, come on. There's no denying it, dude. Just no excuses. So this is just fucking.
Yeah.
They destroyed it. This is some of the best writing they've done in a long time.
I
absolutely agree.
See, I heard baby crying. Like we had like that weird silence, and I hear in the background. And I'm like, I hope there's nothing wrong, dude. My kid busted his chin last night.
Shit.
And like he was like, it was one of those things where I'm like, I want to move it. See, I'm trying not to be so like overcautious and protective, right? Because I mean, you know, and just let him get hurt. And then he caught himself. He didn't catch himself second time. He went chin first, like, yeah, because we have like these like he was like on this little like pad play thing that we have. So he's about almost like almost a foot off the floor, and then he just went plop chin. And he got a scuff. We were a little worried. So I'm like, no, okay, no, just as long as I'm not getting a zip, help, SOS. But no, I echo everything that you said, Nick. This again, I played this for a couple friends, and they were not feeling it. It was just like they heard the first one, didn't like it. Heard this song, they weren't into it, and instantly I heard, you know, with that dual guitar. Justice vibes. I'm like, this. You could just change the tone on the riffs. Maybe not the lyrical content because he's a better lyricist now. But just if you put the guitars on there, you would say, hey, this was a demo from Justice, and I if I had never heard this song before, I went, wow, that sounds like something that you would have heard. Dick, we'll go to you next.
James is on fire with this song. He's absolutely on fire with this song.
No pun intended.
Moth into flame. Ha ha ha.
Just like the staccato.
James was also literally on fire once.
He was. You asshole.
No, just the staccato delivery of the verse lyrics, and then this is another song that like I kind of had to drill out of my brain my original impression of it because. I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite. And then I heard the performance with Lady Gaga, and that's all I heard from that point on was that performance. And I was like, But so like the first 80 listens this time around, I didn't listen to it that many times. But the only part I really still am not a huge fan of is the a Moth into the Flame, like that part. Like I don't like how it syncs up with the music. It's syncopated with it, but the rest of the song, killer.
I actually like the part when he says "a moth into the flame." More specifically though, I like the part when he says it. It's before like the chorus. It's like a moth into the flame, burn.
Oh yeah, when he has that burn in there, it's like,
guarantee your name and go and kill yourself. The vultures feast around you still. Overdose on shame and insecurity.
Like I love the same rise and fall. Who cares at all? Seduced by fame, and then a moth into the flame. It's like, okay. See, I like how fucking punchy that first part is.
It's the delivery that you're not liking.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
I I kind of agree.
And again, it's probably mostly because I hear the Lady Gaga version in my head, and that's
That
a shame.
James's face.
He's so mad.
Oh my God, he's hurting.
He's like pushing down microphone stands as he finds out they're not working. Like, get. Finally, they just share a mic. It's like,
it was a cool performance, though.
Yeah.
It was a cool performance.
It was. It's really cool that they did it at all.
I mean,
I'm a Lady Gaga fan, so
she's a Metallica fan.
Yeah.
She's really into them, and they were able to, since they're such pros, improvise and do their thing. It wasn't how they rehearsed it. It wasn't how it was supposed to be. James is angry, and then I believe when they're done, he just throws his guitar.
Yep.
he
throws it.
I have never seen this at all. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I have to watch this after.
It was on the Grammys. Is that the Grammys one year, or it was something
huge? Something huge.
It was some award show.
I'm on it
with them, and his mic's fucking up, and you see it on James's fucking whole body. He's getting pissed, and the song ends, and he just fucking. Someone catches it, I think, but he fucking chucks that guitar. He's pissed.
2017 Grammys.
All right.
Okay. I'll look that up.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots of there. It's on Metallica's YouTube and Lady Gaga's YouTube.
I wonder. See, because it's after they're over that he's leaving the stage, and you just see him like, "I'm done. I'm done." All right, Nate. I do believe you're last here.
All right, Moth into the flames. Lightning vibes, you guys. Ride the lightning. Listen to the riff. Da 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 da. You know, da na na na. It's very similar. The lyrics are brilliant. You guys have talked it up and down. Again, Lars hits the gas pedal, just turns it up. The chorus is quite possibly my favorite chorus on the whole album, actually. Like, I love the song, but the chorus especially is something, and I know that the Moth into the Flame part, Dick doesn't really. I think it hits perfectly. There's something. I wrote wah solo rages on, which is true. There's a cool wah solo that Kirk does there. Rob is hidden, but in some ways he shines just like Cliff used to, where he's in the pocket with the band, but then at some points he kind of goes off and does his own little thing. And then he comes back in and joins them, and that's really what Cliff was masterful at doing. So I loved hearing that. The song is twofold. As you know, Amy Winehouse is one thing. The other way to kind of interpret the song Moth into Flames, Seduced by Fame, is internet sensations. People who are internet famous who think they have it, and they, as soon as another hit erases all the pain, is not a hit as much as it is a like, a share, a comment, or a subscribe. When someone's getting that rush of adrenaline you feel when someone is vibing your shit, and how quickly that can just be gone and you could be nothing. You could say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, or just life doesn't agree with you and you don't get to continue that path. So I love that. It is got a really Justice-y outro. I will say the Justice vibes for me didn't come till the outro. And for the number, we have 156 live performances by Metallica for Moth into Flame.
All right. And your rank.
Let's give this song bitch a 9.25.
And Dick.
9.
And Nick.
I don't think I got to go with my turn because I kept interrupting everybody because of how much I loved it.
See, I just kind of like let you just like when you kind of just broke in and you talked, I just kind of gave that. But if you have anything to add, go for it.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look here. Oh, the fucking the lick between the verses and the chorus, the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's like they're having so much fucking fun on the song that they're like, can we throw something else? Sure, let's throw that little bit in. That's pretty much it. Oh, the guitars before the final chorus. They're doing some crazy shit right before it, like building up. Like there's so much building up in this song, and I fucking loved it. It's so funny that it sounds like I like this more than everyone else, and I gave it an 8.25.
You're just objective.
I tried to be, but
you did the thing that I didn't actually think to do it how you did it, Nick. And now I look at all my rankings and I'm like, fuck, I should have compared it to the other albums and thought, but I kind of was like, every time I ranked it, it was within that album's bubble, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
in some ways.
Okay, so just for everyone fucking listening, what Nate just said, I guarantee you, every single album of mine would be different. Every single fucking one. So okay, here we go. Just real quick, just for this one song. This would be the 10.
Yeah.
On this album, Moth into Flame would be the 10. This is the song on the album, number 1 song on the album. But my dumbass brain can't like Moth into Flame or Master of Puppets. That's what
It's always puppets. Yeah, totally.
So to each their own, obviously, but yeah. Like I said, like it's just exciting. Like it was so much fun listening to this album because it felt like it was like you got Saint Anger, which whatever, and then Death Magnetic was like a return to form. And to me, this was just like better. Like I like Death Magnetic, and this was better. You know, when you're doing your album, you know, like it's like next Metallica album, I am expecting better. You know, like since Saint Anger, like they've just been getting better. You know, so yeah,
They're more tight. They're more cohesive as a unit.
Absolutely.
It's like I feel like I guess if we're going back, like we all agreed that Saint Anger was like a post rehab,
therapy session,
redefining ourselves or rediscovering ourselves, and they got the reaction that they deserved, and then started releasing shit that you're like, I'll accept this, I'll accept Death Magnetic, I'll fucking accept Hardwired. This is pretty fucking good. So Moth into Flame to me, it's the highlight. I really do.
Hell yeah, absolutely. I gave this a 9.5. This is definitely up there. Coming off of hearing just Hardwired as that first, that's all we had for like a month was just that 3-minute track, and that's it. And then to come into this one as a nice little taste of what the album's going to be, it's definitely a kicker for sure. The next track, banger. I would say banger. Definite banger.
One thing we should mention before we jump to the next track that Nick unintentionally reminded me to mention. This is the first album on Blackened Records for Metallica.
Yes,
this is them officially breaking away. And I think to go back to that having fun, it's because they're on their own time. They're allowed to work how they want to work. They're allowed to create how they want to create. They don't have to go, fuck, man, this Warner Brothers exec or whoever, Elektra's going to come in and be like, oh, that's shit, we don't want it. They know whatever they produce, they're going to trust their judgments because that's what they've made their career on, is trusting themselves. So this album really shows that to the full front.
That's absolutely true because they're not on anyone else's dime. They're on their dime. Nope.
And you can, I feel like you can hear it. Mm-hmm. You can just hear that they're finally they're having fun. They fucking, like you said, they did a music video for every fucking song, and they can do that because they're Metallica. And, I was talking with, I went on a mini road trip with some bros, and jokingly, I was like, we all joke about Metallica, but like, have you all heard some Saint Anger? And even not even so much Saint Anger, like I think it goes back to as far as even like the Black Album. There's just some songs that I don't feel like they fit and shit. And we joked about like, is that an executive thing? Like you need 8 songs on this album. You need 9 songs on this. And so you're forced to fucking pump something else, extra out. And shit, even with, there's a bunch of songs on this album that are all them.
That happened to them on Ride the Lightning.
Even the worst shit on this album is still pretty fucking all right. So
yeah,
absolutely. The next song is called Dream No More, and it is the 3rd song set in the Lovecraft
yes, it
world.
is.
The first being Call Cthulhu, the second one being The Thing That Should Not Be, and then now Dream No More. The sound for this song, to me, it's almost like if there's a little bit of Thing That Should Not Be here because of vibe, but in tone, and it's almost kind of like if Memory Remains and Devil's Dance had a baby.
my fucking first. I don't even care. I'm
All right.
breaking.
All right.
the
You go
code.
first, Nate.
Reload, load vibes.
Yep.
First line of my fucking notes, dude. You nailed it. Continue on, Brandon. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's just like, it's heavy. It's dark. I dig the chorus. It's not like super complex, but just the powerful. You turn to stone, can't look away. You're like Cthulhu waking down, 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 down. I just think it kicks, and it's a song to me that's definite. Like, this song is not gonna get like the big radio play or love, because there's just so many other songs around it that are like a little bit better. But I mean, hell yes, that's a hell yes for me. Nate, we'll start with you since you had the note that I unknowingly stole from you.
Yeah, you didn't. I mean, you said it in your own elegant way with Memory Remains and Devil's Dance having their baby of a song, but I just generally wrote load, reload vibes because it does. I think there's an amazingly chunky riff in the verse. It's seriously so chunky in the chorus too. It just hits you. And the Cthulhu callback is great. This song is a headbanger. You can easily catch yourself just jamming out to it. I want you guys to, whether it's your phone, whether it's your Zoom listening device, whether you bring out an Apple iPod Gen 1, whatever the fuck it is that you're listening to your songs on.
Generation 1.
Yeah, put your headphones on, and at 4 minutes and 10 seconds of this song, listen closely, because it's the coolest, most subtle thing in the Metallica catalog that does not get any props. You literally hear a breath in right before the solo kicks. It's almost like Kirk going, okay, here I go. I've got to fucking shred and do this in one take, one go. And that breath, just that hearing them actually put the breath in.
That's funny.
Was so epic.
Now I thought I heard that at some point the other day.
Yeah, it's definitely in there. You can definitely check it out. The solo is monstrous, and I think that's funny because it's Cthulhu. Again, it's just them unleashing. It's an epic build into the chorus.
Wake.
You know, I just love it. I love this song so much. Let's real quick go look at that there number for you guys. Dreaming No More. Anyone want to take a guess? Because this number actually shocks me.
4.
Good guess, Nick.
35.
Good guess, Brando.
53.
If we're playing Price is Right rules, Nick wins. 21 live performances. Brandon was just over that there. But yeah, a short number of performances. I was actually surprised this doesn't get more play, considering how groovy, chunky, and has kind of a little bit of everything in the Metallica catalog within it.
I just want to say before we move on, I do believe it was for Hardwired or something like that. But when they were recording it, when James was adding in a guitar layer, and it's like da da da, and he went ha ha, and then when they played it back, his pickups caught his laugh.
Oh,
and then they're like, "What?" And like, dude, that came from the pickups, because he was plugged right into like to the computer, to the system, because they were adding in like just like a guitar layer, and then they thought that was a cool thing, and they almost left it in the record. It was just James was like yelling into his guitar. Ah!
I've seen people do it.
But it was just them hanging out. All right, we'll go to Nick next.
all right. Quickly, you gave me the idea. I think Nate said it was something about it being, I don't know, something Nate made me think, like, you really think that? You know what we should do for our finale? We should all write our perfect set list.
Ooh, I love it. What's the song amount parameter? We have to have a limit.
Initially I thought album. I'm like, album's an hour. Like with a performance, we can do 2 hours easily.
Okay.
2 hours of your absolute fucking favorites, even deep cuts.
Oh, and you know what we can do
Something
with
like
those too?
Nate, you said something that I was like, if you had to pick all your favorite songs, would Dream No More make it in 2 hours? Like something along those lines.
Well, because the lack of it being played live probably sparked you to think it like that. But the cool thing about us doing the playlists is if we actually individually go make special playlists on Spotify for that live performance vibe, we can actually put those out on our socials and people can actually listen to what we think is the perfect, playlist for them to perform live.
Yeah.
So yes, I love that idea.
Hell
Awesome. So, drink up. Don't have a lot to say. Not a huge fan of the riffage. I didn't mention the chorus vocals, but I specifically noted that I did not like the verse vocals. Overall, lackluster solo. The shining diamond in the rough was the "You Turn to Stone" passage. I thought that James's delivery on that vocally, on top of the whole part, the one shining part of the song to me was the "You Turn to Stone" passage. So I really like that. But overall, it was fucking. This was an immaculately mowed yard with a little turd in the middle of it. Surrounded by Halo on fire, Moth into flame. I'm like, okay. Again, I say it's not a bad song, but it's in the middle of a bunch of fucking monstrous songs. So, I guess I can start off the rankings if I'm last.
No, Dick hasn't gone yet.
I'm sure he has a lot to say.
I don't. No. Definitely getting the load reload vibes. I like to refer to a lot of this album as load magnetic. Because I get load and death magnetic vibes off of almost every single one of these songs, except for Hardwired. Huh?
No.
What? So, the verses, like you mentioned, Nick mentioned that you didn't like the vocals on it. It's like they're very sleazy vocals that could easily be on load or reload. He's got that like higher register harmony going on at the same time, and it's just like it's super sleazy. It's a mood song. Like
definitely.
It's not a song that I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna jam this. No, I'm not gonna jam this. But it's cool there. It's there and it's cool.
I don't know if I'd say it's cool, but
it's cool. I think it's cool.
You're cool.
Thanks.
To some people, but not me.
Oh. So what's your rank, Dick?
We're gonna go with an 8. I don't hate it.
Brandon, if you get some spare time, can you send me everyone's ranks or at least Dick's? I would love to compare.
Well, to me, 7 is like an average. It was okay.
Dream No More is about as good as Master of Puppets. About as good.
I gave Master of Puppets a 10. Thank you.
I love this show, you guys. This is
I do
great.
too.
All right.
Nick,
We'll do this later.
Nick, I got to know. What did you give it?
5. I gave it a 5.
That was almost a fringe of a no.
Dream Elsewhere. That's where I'm at.
Dream Elsewhere. Get. On now. Get.
Every album, I would say, I'd say most albums I've been pulling up the lyrics, and I specifically did for this one. And even though like I was stoked on the Lovecraft vibes, I just couldn't get it. Like I just could not get into this one. So,
all right, Nate.
Ooh, let me give this song, an 8.5. It was good.
I gave it an 8. I like it. It's all right, man. I like it. It's yeah. To me, it's not the worst song on this album. So
agreed.
So carrying forward though, Halo on Fire. Now, really quick, as I said, on the vinyl, after Moth into Flame, and before Halo on Fire is not Dream No More.
It's Confusion.
No.
Oh.
It is Am I Savage?
That's right.
And then Dream No More is after Confusion, but before ManUNkind. Or ManUNkind. So, just a little fun trivia there. Halo on Fire, man. Was this a neat little treat or what on this album? I mean, this is just my opinion. This was a single released in December of 18.
What?
Yes.
2 years later.
2 years
2 years
later.
later.
Yeah.
2 years
Well, because
later.
they were still doing the
The big tour.
Hardwired to Self-Destruct World Tour that they were on for like 3 years straight.
Yeah. And so, like, because you had Now That We're Dead in April, Spit Out the Bone in November of 17. So that's 1 year exactly later. And then 2 years later, Halo on Fire.
I just thought of another stat about the album that changed overall versus the history of Metallica. This is the first time track 4 is not the ballad.
No, hey, there you go. Like, they kind
I
of
was
had.
going to point that I guess Hardwired isn't the name of the album,
Mhm.
but also
Not track 2.
the closest thing to. Yeah, the
Yeah.
closest thing. Yeah, they didn't do that either.
Yeah, no, guys. Halo on Fire is fire. Like, this song
Yeah.
is certified fucking banger. There's a lot of people online who don't like this song. And I really
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, fuck them, because this song is I would say the closest thing to that classic Metallica ballad, where you have, like, you know, the soft parts, it goes to a heavy chorus, and it kind of has that jamming part at the end where they just kind of, you know, turn the amps up a little bit. But the tone is different. I don't know if it's if they're playing it a different, like, in a more, like, it's more uplifting. This is like the anti-Fade to Black, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Because if you look at the lyrics near the end of the song, and then you have Fade to Black, the last lyrics in Fade to Black.
Now I will just say goodbye.
Death greets me warm. Now I'll just say goodbye. Halo and Fire. Hello, darkness. Say goodbye.
Yeah.
There's just something about this song. It's kind of like, it's groovy. I like the little, like, the way he delivers. I fear to turn on the light, for the darkness won't go away. Fast is desire. You know, but then, like, as I said, when they kick it in, and after the second chorus, da-na-na-na, da-na-na, it's like, it's a little bit different of a feel. Prayer, and I love this line. Prayers cannot get through. Return to sender.
Yeah,
It's a
I
great.
definitely remember that line stuck out to me too.
But then, like, after they do this little, like, and they have, like, a little guitar solo, and then it goes soft again, and then it kicks into, like, it's almost it's into the Hello Darkness Say Goodbye part. It's like positive. Is it in a major key? I don't know. It doesn't sound typical heavy Metallica. It's like different. And I noticed that from the first time I ever heard it, and it made it stand out to me, like, big time. And I feel like it's so rare, or has been rare, for Metallica to have this many good songs on an album. Like, you'll have songs, yeah, just like, you'll have, like, some good songs here and there, or, like, ones that aren't, like, what I would consider to be, like, man, if I'm going to think about the catalog of Metallica, just like we said, playlist or certifiable, like, top 20 or something like that, or, because even that's kind of hard to say. It's like, would you put Motor Breath on top 20? Maybe not. It's a fun, cool track. But the Master of Puppets, the Ones, the Unforgivens, you know, stuff like that. And
You don't always get to hear something like Halo on Fire in the context of the rest of the discography, and I think that's where people can get they can open their horizons a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not so much like oh, 80s Metallica is the best, therefore I don't need to look outside of it. And it's like, you can go throughout all of it, and find those pieces that you can throw in, to the shit that you really fucking like. If all you like is the first 5 Metallica albums, you could throw Halo on Fire into the middle of that.
Yes.
You could throw Moth into the Flame into the middle of that, and people wouldn't know that it's fucking 2 decades later that they released those songs.
I feel
Absolutely.
like, with each album they're adding to the legacy, but just like you said, when you're adding to that epic era, that their I don't know, their perfection era, the era that everybody loves, when you're adding to the, if you're going on a song by song basis, like, not every song on this album is gonna technically get there, but
Sure.
but this one definitely does for me. Absolutely. Nick, if you have anything else to say, I'll pass it on to you.
I got a lot to say. So this album was a little different because it was specifically split up into 2 different parts. I listened on Spotify, and it was not. So what do we got? Disc 2, Confusion.
Yeah,
was 1. It was not 7. It was not song 7. So my dumbass monkey brain says, well, Halo on Fire is the last song then. And I'm not expecting much. For my particular taste of music, Metallica is not terribly strong on final tracks. Halo on Fire was fucking awesome. The intro was fucking sick. Tons of dual guitar that I loved. I wrote cool verse, and then I wrote cool chorus. I'm like, I guess it's all just fucking cool. Like, it's all just really good. There's a specific guitar interlude between the chorus and the second verse. That was particularly sick to me. About 5 minutes in, you're getting ready to dive into another fucking solo, and it was totally sick. There's multiple guitar solos. So I was getting ripped, they're fucking building me up for a monstrous guitar solo, and I'm stoked. They give me a little bit, and I'm like, this is tight. Then they back off before unleashing another one, which was completely fucking awesome. So expectation-wise, Halo on Fire blew me away. If you're looking at it in the broader context of like one album, we're halfway through it. I'm fucking happy. I'm 6 songs in. There's 2 songs that I'm like they're okay, but they're not great. 4 out of 6 is pretty fucking awesome. And Halo on Fire is definitely one of my favorites off of the whole album, especially the first part.
Hell yeah. Hell yes, I agree. Dick.
This song is epic as fuck. I love the contrast between the verses and the chorus, how it's so soft. And then it just fucking James's voice sounds extremely stretched in this song. It sounds like it's just on the cusp of going out, but he's got enough in there to keep it smooth, or keep it from going out.
I think that really shines when he says fast, because just
the
it
entire chorus.
Gotcha.
Really stretching the limits of his voice, I think, not in terms of like he's doing new things that he's never done, but it sounds like he's been working at this all fucking day, if not all week. And it's really showing, but the performance, I think it would not be as good if it was pristine. I think that shines through in the emotional delivery of the song. And that's what I love about this song. On top, like, that's the epicness I describe. It's like the delivery of the vocals are so big. Once they hit that chorus, they just get fucking huge.
It's interesting. It's interesting, really, really, really quick, because he does the same kind of stuff on Saint Anger as well. But like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really click with it as much. Like, it's like he's straining it to get an emotion across. Like, especially within all within my hands or something like that. Nick, you got something?
Yeah, it's just like there's definite times where you can see or feel like it's James, putting it on the line. And this one didn't particularly do it for me lyrically. Like there's sometimes where you're fucking hitting all of it. You're hitting, you've got the way you're delivering it is good. The things that you're saying are good. And I'm connecting with it all. So with this one, the thing for me is I think the lyrics themselves is like you're doing a really good job on every other front, but I'm not, I hate fucking saying it, but like a 1, like when he's saying shit and he's delivering it, you're like, this fucking hits. Like this hits real good. This was not one of those where it was able to hit multiple bases, but like I couldn't get into the lyrics. You could deliver the lyrics great, but if
I don't really connect with the lyrics, but I do think they are cool lyrics. Like I love the imagery of just the turning out the lights and all that, and there's the darkness, or turn on the light, for the darkness won't go away. Like I love the imagery of that. I love the imagery of a halo on fire, and then just like the second half of the song is nothing but an awesome jam. This song is tied with my favorite on this album.
Wow.
Excellent.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Nate.
I say in the notes, jammy start into a more ballady, slow, and creepy vibe. The chorus of this song is really genuinely emotional. Like it's very powerful. There's a miniature solo. You could call it a lead if you want. Before the second verse that I absolutely love. It's beautiful and haunting, and that's what it just kills. Nick?
I think I referred to that as an interlude.
Yes, probably the better way to do it.
Whatever you were just saying, that's what I was referring to, where it's like, that's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, totally just pulls it away. The riff transition is simple, but it works. The galloping riff is badass in the song. The dual lead harmonizing, Nick, you had said this, into the solo is awesome. They build it up just to take it away from you, which is cool. Yep. They start to like pull you into this thing and this sense of like, we're going up onto the top of the mountain only to throw you under the ocean, which I really loved. There's this part that happens where it's like the guitars are kind of playing off each other and they're acoustic, and there's like bow, bow, and this like creepy thing, and you hear on the hi-hat the 4 count, that lead, my favorite part on the song, hands down. The delivery of that alone, just the simple 4 count into that, is absolute perfection in my opinion. The song will always get me emotional if I'm listening to it in my own headspace and just thinking about the world, life, and kind of my own personal journey. It definitely hits me right square in those feels. Now let's real quick talk about that number. You guys, I'm actually surprised at this one because it's a lot more than I thought. This has 90 live performances.
I believe this is one that I wanted to hear when we went. I don't think they did it.
I do not believe they did.
No. No, they played a different one that I didn't really want them to play. And they and then they played that one. Nate, do you got a rank?
Yeah, 9.5.
0.5. And well, hold on. For some reason that didn't type. All right. Dick.
10.
10. And Nick.
7.5.
7.5. I'm actually with Dick on this one. It's a 10.
Oh, you saved our listeners from drinking because rule number 5 says finish your drink when only Dick gives a song a 10. So that was close.
No. This song is epic as shit. It gets me. Just like everybody else said. And it hits sometimes like when you need it to, I guess I'll put it that way.
Brandon, would you just say you were gushing about this song?
Maybe. So
rule number 7 is if Brandon gushes and gives a song a 10, you got to drink, baby. So
that's
count it.
So they don't have to finish. They just have to take a drink.
It actually says finish your drink.
Oh shit.
Is the rule. So yes,
either way they were screwed. So the next track is the first track on disc 2, and it is Confusion. And
Perfect title.
So the song is about PTSD and soldiers dealing with a lot of mental stress and stuff like that. So I totally dig that, especially when you consider like they've already done a war song where dude literally stepped on a landmine and was in his own head in a coma. And so you have that extremity, but then you have the other part, the war that nobody sees. And go ahead.
Do we know of any strong military ties with these guys? Because they do this several times.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have
I think
fathers or brothers in the service?
I think they're just proponents of anti-war, and they're really good at utilizing imagery. And then this is kind of a way to say, like, in the world we live in now in 2020, I think, well, and of course this is before 2020, but even when they were writing this album, the world was getting to a point where we were starting to understand mental traumas and disorders more, and people go to war and it fucks them up. And you can't come back from that. And once you've seen somebody be killed in front of you or die in front of you, like, you physically, scientifically speaking, can never undo what your brain does when that happens. So yeah, I think that yeah, that's all I have right now.
That's what makes me ask it, because spoiler, this song, I don't have a lot of good things to say about it. But the one thing is that the lyrics are incredibly strong. I really like the lyrics. And it's on the same vibe or level as one. They're really good talking about the cost of war mentally. So, I've never fucking been to war, but also, like, I feel like I'm empathetic enough to understand that shit. I'm wondering if this is a similar empathetic feeling, or if they've got the firsthand experience. Because one, this song is very, very good about talking about those things. One fucking takes you there. The way that he talks, you're like, he's speaking right to you. Where the fuck do you get this stuff? So either he's a fucking top tier orator, which he is, or he's got a little bit of help, a fucking cousin or a brother or an uncle or someone who's experienced this shit. Because he speaks to it so good. That's what I'm saying. Is James fucking he speaks to this fucking war is not just about those who come home and those who don't come home. It speaks to what the experience does to those who still survive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm with you. And see, James has a lot, like, he does write a lot about, like, things that he experiences talking with people, whether they're friends or anything like that. Like, like, he is such a social creature in that manner that a lot of that stuff sticks with him when he's thinking about, like, themes and writing and just kind of where he wants to put that. And this is a song that I always forget that I like. I don't hate the song. I don't love it either. It's not my favorite song at all, and I don't dislike it. But for some reason, always in my own brain, I'm always of the mind of, oh yeah, that song. And spoiler alert, this song is on S&M too.
See, so that's confusing to me.
Well,
because at this point, we're at the end.
Yeah,
we've heard it all. We've heard everything. And personally, I've come so far, like in terms of understanding the band. So you fucking chose Confusion over Fade to Black? What is wrong with y'all? What are you talking about?
This is the same band that did not play Trapped Under Ice when they played at Antarctica.
Big fail.
How do you do that?
That's what I think about that.
I'm walking away. No, this is a song that I always forget that I like, because by the time it starts, and then the verses are like, that's okay. But by the time I'm out of the first verse and it goes into the first chorus, Da 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 da. Now I'm head bobbing. In confusion, and I love the chorus. Like all sanity is now beyond me. All sanity is but a memory. My life, the war that never ends. It's awesome. As Nick said, he captures it so well, and it's always every time, every re-listen is, and everyone's just gonna go pee now. This is the pee song. This is the back in the early 2000s. This is the women's match during the wrestling. This is the let me up match. This is the all right. Got to go get some popcorn, some more beer. I mean, no joke. We're over 2 hours into this, and we're just on the second.
This is probably
disc.
our long. Yeah, this is probably our long. I mean, we're gonna have to most likely speed through the second half of this a little bit for our audience's sake. Yeah, but
well, you know what? It all depends on everybody's schedules, I guess. If we need to, we need to. But no, it's like every time I always kind of forget. I always just like I'm always kind of digging it by the end, and I can't really explain why. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And since the other guys just got back, I'll let them kind of get their bearings. And Nate, I'll let you go next.
For my notes, I've got marching intro gives me vibes of Disposable Heroes. Angular and groovy pre-chorus or pre-verse riffs. So there's an angle for you. Fucking jamming chorus.
Mm-hmm.
The solo into and in verse 2 is different for Metallica, but it's so good. Another fuely riff happens in the next solo bit, and the solo is not my favorite, was the last thing I wrote. This song is good for me. I think the song is saved by a change in one spot in the song. So the whole song has this very like standard kind of thing, the verse chorus thing, but then all of a sudden after the Father Please Come Home thing, which is its own little sub part in the song, there's the label him a deadwood soldier now, cast away and left to roam. Rapid is the road to sacrifice, just takes longer to come home. Going into that solo, that's my favorite part of this song that has limited live plays, only coming in at 31 performances. That's all I've got to say about that. Let's move on.
All right, we'll go to Dick next.
This song wasn't very memorable to me, except for the chorus. So I don't got a lot to say about it. I love the delivery of the chorus. It's jamming, as you guys said. I love the all sanity now lies beyond me. Like I love the blending of the layers of vocals there. And that's all I got to say about it.
And Nick.
Rapid fire. Riffs are okay. Vocals are delivered all right. Nothing really sticks out to me. Lyrics are incredibly strong. This is probably this might be the largest dichotomy for me of any of their song between the lyrics and what music they made with the lyrics. I love the lyrics. I think the lyrics are awesome, but I just fucking don't like the song. For the solo, this was hard to write for. I said it's a big mess. Like he multiple times couldn't decide if he was going to solo or not. Like he built up, did something, nah, build up, do something, nah. He did that so many times. It was a big fucking mess for me. That's what it was. But in terms of overall score, like I'll say this is one of the weird ones where the exceptional lyrics are gonna rise my score up for me. I didn't like the song very much, but I thought he really killed the lyrics. So has everybody gone? Should I give a rank?
Yep, give me a rank.
Yeah. I gave 5.25.
And Dick.
6.5.
And Nate.
7.5.
I'm the high one here. I gave it an 8 because as I said, I always forget that I kind of like it. But by the end of it, I usually am digging it. But it's always the going into that's hard for me. The next song, ManUNkind, the only song that has another writing credit on the album besides Lord of Summer with Rob Trio. This is my second low-key favorite song on the album. And I love the bass intro. Nice little cool tribute to Cliff here. And I believe this is the best Black Sabbath song Metallica's ever wrote.
Yes.
Now, I have been trying to the music is Black Sabbath. the way he sings the song, if you had Ozzy sing it, it would sound like a Black Sabbath song. And I can't sing like Ozzy, but chaos awaiting for Adam's return. Madness smiling as we watch it burn. And it's like then he's like, blind, leave blind, quest to find faith in ManUNkind. Let me see your fucking hands.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, you're right. You're totally right.
And it's the riffs. It bump, bump, bump. It just, to me, that's what I like about it. I don't know if that's what they were trying to do, but they wrote a Black Sabbath song. And that's honestly why I like it. This is a song I was talking about earlier that really, like, the first time I heard it, I'm like, this sounds like Black Sabbath. And maybe I've been listening to some Black, it's just whatever. It hit me, and that's what got me to go back to Atlas Rise and think about that in a different way. That it wasn't necessarily Metallica writing the best Metallica song; they were channeling their influences and spewing it out into their own speakers or that. So we'll go with Dick first. What do you got about ManUNkind?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that it sounds like a Black Sabbath song, because this sounds like the most Metallica song I've ever heard. That's all I've got.
Okay,
I wasn't this half of the album I'm not a giant fan of.
fair enough. We'll go to Nick next.
This is a handful of no.
So 2-4.
Nothing sticks out to me, and I wouldn't be doing my part if I didn't mention the solo. Totally uninteresting. Yeah, this is one of those. Okay, so spoiler. This is gonna be funny. This, I think, was the first Metallica album that came out when I was a fan. I got into Metallica very, very late.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the first album that I bought right when it came out. So all the songs it was super fun going back and listening, because, I mean, when I was getting into this shit, I was into like a lot of death metal kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest Metallica stuff was old school, super thrashy stuff. So this came out and I was just not having it. Anything. In my head, like, I remembered Hardwired. I hated Hardwired. I remembered Atlas Rise, and I was like, I thought it all sucked. Like when I listened to this in 16, when I listened to it back then, obviously, you know, I've come around. For whatever reason, ManUNkind stuck in my head, and I still hate it. I still fucking hate ManUNkind. Faith in ManUNkind. I was like,
I like
nope.
the idea of it lyrically, but
I'm looking, and I'm not brought in lyrically.
and I like the lyrics, and I like the idea of the lyrics. Yes.
So spoiler alert, this is the worst ranked on the album by far for me. So I don't got anything to say except fucking shit. That's all I gotta say.
Nate.
Soft ambient intro's cool. The bass leading, the jam is awesome. It's super heavy. It's got some cool groove. Sonically, it reminds me of It's Electric and Sabracadabra. So those are kind of right on point with what you guys said. Lead breakaway rocks. The transition is one of the album's best, which I really think so. The Seized by the Day bit, when it shifts there towards the end of the song. The solo section is a melter. The jam outro section is great. A way to wrap this song up. And it has the most interesting number, as it's only been performed twice.
Good.
All right.
You
Nate,
unhuman kindness.
Nate, give me a rank.
9. I love this song.
Dick.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Nick.
4.5.
Almost.
No.
Almost a no.
You said it was double no.
He said no.
If you want, I can go back through and listen and try to figure out why it didn't get a 4. But
Because it's better than The Cure.
it's sometimes that's all it takes. It's not as bad as another.
Yeah,
That's-
because you rated Cure 4, so it's not as bad as Cure. So there we go. It makes sense. I gave it a 9 too, because I said low key.
What?
I love the fact that it's very Sabbathy. I love the Sabbath.
It's not Metallica.
It isn't
That's what makes
Metallica,
it cool.
and I like that they're doing something different. The next song is "Here Comes Revenge," and oh, you got something?
Got nothing. Keep going. Talk.
Just a title that I hate.
So
I hate that. Here Comes Revenge. It sounds so fucking Avenged Sevenfold. Like,
so this
Here
song.
comes Avenged.
So this song is a Wolf and Man meets Harvester of Sorrow.
Literally
Fair.
the first line in my
Yeah.
notes, Harvester vibes. That's the first line in my notes, Brando.
This James wrote the song. It was somebody told him a story about how Metallica helped him through hard times, and said that somebody had killed his daughter in a drunk driving accident. And James and how that guy had a lot of rage and pent up emotions about that, and Metallica helped him through that. James is very touched by that story, and decided to write a song about it because he can just imagine what that guy's like. Here comes revenge. Like I'm coming for your ass. You know.
the lyrics are incredibly powerful. If you listen, if you read through them,
Mhm.
as much as I thought it was a decent song, but you look through the lyrics and I really like the lyrics. Like what you're saying. Like I didn't know that context.
Well,
but you saying makes me go like that makes it a better song because the lyrics are incredibly powerful.
Little grave I'm grieving, I will mend you. Sweet revenge I'm dreaming, I will end you.
It's so sad.
Oh, see, here's the thing. They made me like this song. Metallica made me like it more than what I did. When I first heard it, I instantly heard of Wolf and Man meets Harvester of Sorrow. I like both of those songs, but I just kind of felt like, okay, they're just retreading water here, thematic or musically. But instead, they played this song live at our show that Nate and I went to instead of Halo on Fire.
Right.
And I was not very happy about that. In fact, like I was like, I started the show with tears in my eyes, and I'm like sitting there like a puffy little like my 5-year-old who literally yells at me when I'm telling him to stop doing something and says, "I get a punishment," and then he locks himself in his own room. Don't ask me. But I like their live performance of it, and after hearing it live and then hearing that story, I gave it a second chance, and it's a little higher than what it was before, but not much. Dick, you said you have nothing. Nick, do you have anything to add?
I didn't say I have nothing. I just was letting you talk.
Oh, okay. Well, Dick, fuck talk then.
This is I'm reading the lyrics. I'm liking the lyrics a lot. I like the theme of the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
How he's basically saying he is hate. He is this thing that's been built that many people have really devoted themselves to. And then it gets to the chorus and it just rips, just fucking rips. And this, I jokingly said to myself when thinking about this song in this album, this is this album's attitude.
I kind of get, yeah.
It's just, it's there in terms of the overall thing. It's just there. I do like this song. It's not a favorite, but I do like it.
All right. Nick, do you have anything?
I really like the intro. It makes you feel like you're about to do some ass kicking.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've already said, I really like the lyrics. It chugs right along. The solo was okay. Nothing to write home about. I feel like I had known in the back of my mind that this was the album Kirk didn't have anything for. So I think I guess it's almost of a side note. Like Kirk fucking came alive with the guitar solos this time, because that's all he had. And even in something like this that I don't like a whole lot, this isn't one of my favorite Metallica songs. Kirk still fucking delivered on the solo. So, I guess that makes 2 or 3 songs on this album that James wrote just impeccable lyrics to, but they were not able to, in my opinion, flesh out music wise, which is interesting.
Awesome. And Nate.
Harvester vibes in the intro. It slams into a banger riff. The chorus is catchy. So many working parts, and the solos do show that Kirk has not missed a step and brought it. The song has been performed a total of 22 times live, and we actually saw the 3rd ever live performance of the song.
Drink every time Nate mentions a song played during a show that him and Brando saw together.
There we go.
The whole episode, essentially.
Essentially, yeah. They played a lot of them from this one. All right, Nate, give me a rank.
8.75. I love this song. It's great. Again, I'm a big fan of this album.
And Nick.
6.
And Dick.
7.5.
Gave it a 7. Originally, it was a bit lower, but after seeing them play it live, they kind of made me want to like it a little bit more. And as Nick said, the writing's powerful. The writing, and like as far as the lyrics and verses, and especially hearing that story behind it, like it puts an emotion there, and on its base level, even if it wasn't my favorite song musically, by any stretch, but but all right, man, it's all right.
It's how you can make up for it elsewhere.
Yeah,
these songs like that, like I don't think you killed it, but you nailed this one part. It's a matter of fucking, like, there's several songs, I'll tell you, that the solos kick ass. So I want to give them a higher rating, but it's like, no, you don't deserve a higher rating just because you killed it for 20 seconds,
Yep. And
yeah.
The next song, Am I Savage? I don't have much to say.
I do a little bit, not much though.
I don't have much. This is probably my least favorite song on the album. I can't get into this song. I can't. I've tried multiple. I don't know. That's just it. I got nothing, man.
No trouble. You don't want to say you don't like it, but you're like, but I don't.
I don't, man. This is like, to me, this is the weakest entry. There's a couple songs there that we've already mentioned that are like, okay, no, but I guess I'll like it a little bit more now. I still don't like this song. Am I Savage? Nate, you said you have stuff to say. I'll let you go.
I just wrote soft guitar intro into the headbanginess riff because that or no, that's Am I Savage? That's ManUnkind. I'm sorry. But I don't know why that just jumped in my head. I think we were just talking about it and it's in there. But overall, the song is simple, but the chorus is.
He's like, I'm reading the notes for the wrong song.
Yep. Like I said, guitar intro is cool. There is a pretty headbanging riff in there. The verse riff is cool. It's simple. The chorus is killer. Overall, a fun jam. I literally wrote, Am I Savage?
Oh, yeah, dig it.
The song has never been performed live.
Good. It doesn't need to.
Did you guys get any Saint Anger vibes from this song?
A little.
Like,
I
not direct, not 100%. Like, we're going Saint Anger here, but like this song just, I don't know, it just stands out to me.
I got 2 vibes for this song.
Okay, Dick, then tell me your vibes.
Megadeth vibes?
Huh?
Did anybody get Megadeth vibes? Or just me?
I'm not as familiar with Megadeth.
I'd have to re-listen to it now that you said that.
Now I got major load vibes and load and reload vibes in the verses for sure. And then the Am I Savage, scratching at the door. Am I Savage? I don't recognize you anymore. I got like Lover Man. Howling at the door. Ooh. But then the saving grace to me of this song is the fucking breakdown Like, shit. I'm pretty sure this is the first time Metallica's actually used harmonics. Like, for as simple as that breakdown is, it's dun, 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 dun. It's like, fuck, this hits. And that's the only saving grace to me of this song.
All right. And Nick.
I like the intro. I got a lot of Megadeth vibes, like I said, at least at the beginning. I wrote, I want to like it, but I don't. You know, like the way they wrote it and stuff. I want to be into it, but I'm not. I really like the mid-song breakdown, and I thought it had a pretty decent solo.
Right on. All right, give me a rank, Nick.
5.5.
Dick.
Not great.
Breakdown alone, we're going 7.5.
What the fuck?
Just the breakdown.
Just the breakdown.
That's all I need. I'll skip forward to the breakdown and just listen to that.
Nate.
6.75.
6.75?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm a 6. Yeah. Straight 6. The next song, Murder One, dedicated to one Lemmy from Motorhead. Murder One was the name of Lemmy's rig. And this is like what Nick said. I want to like it, but I don't. This is the one for me. I want to like this song. And I liked it more on this listen than I have any other time. But it's still not very high. I like the riff, the down, 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 down. That's, I instantly got Motorhead vibe on that. Like, even knowing it was about it, I was like, okay, I get it. Ace is wild, ace is high, all the aces, aces till you die. Come on. Ace of spades. Yeah.
End of the album bullshit. That's what I'm saying. I thought I wrote stupid lyrics, and I'm looking through, and it's just nothing fucking, like, this shit don't mean nothing to me. Nothing sticks out. The solo, the guitar solo was soulless. Didn't even feel it. It was the end of the album. He needs to fucking pull something out of his ass. He pulled something out of his ass. One of my lowest rated songs on the album.
Dick.
What he said. It's my least favorite song on the album.
Nate.
I don't like it.
I wrote that here in my notes, I just wrote that the soft, peaceful start smashes into a pretty heavy riff. Laid back and jamming. The lyrics are, simple and meant for Lemmy, and I get that. It's a tribute. It's cool. It's, it is what it is. It is an awesome tribute to the legend Lemmy. The solo is lackluster. It's kind of melted cheese instead of shredded cheese, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, Nate.
And
everybody just drink on that one. Just drink. He said something.
Hold on, Dick. Stop talking, because every time you talk, I can't hear Nick speak at all. Nick, what did you just say? It literally cut his sound out.
Shredded cheese would take effort, whereas melted cheese
Yes. Oh, perfect.
This is melted cheese.
100%. Steaming pile of melted cheese.
No
Murder One, never been performed live.
Good. There's no reason to play this live.
No excuse.
Oh, tell the truth. All right. Let's move on. Are we done with this song?
Yeah, Nick, give me a rank.
4.75.
Dick.
I like it a little better than that, so I'm gonna go with a 5.
I thought you were gonna say.
I gave it a straight shooting 7, dog.
7. So did I. 7. As I said, this past time through, it grooved a little bit more, but it was a 6. My gut instinct going in, it was that it was going to be a 6. We made it, guys. Here we are, 2.5 hours into this podcast. We made it to the last song on the album. Spit
Longest
out.
episode of our show.
Yeah, longest so far. Spit out the bone. And I love this song. I fucking love this song. If there, we've all kind of said the last half of the album is kind of.
And then they put this.
This is like
They make you wait until the end of the album for this thing.
Let's do a quick look back. All right, so I'll say best. I'll say Spit Out the Bone is best of the second half.
Oh, without question.
Easily.
Without question. No, this is one of the iconic tracks from this album for me. This is one with Moth into Flame, with Halo on Fire, that instantly get put into that category of top Metallica songs. This album managed to get 3 from me that are like, bam, right there. Even though I gave Now That We're Dead a 10, I gave it a 10 and constitutes that, like, I really like the song. Is it all-time Metallica? Time will tell. Because, I mean, that's a lot of Metallica. But this song, up there, they brought it, they tried. This wasn't just shredded cheese. Okay?
This was Olive Garden. Just
yeah, more. Keep going. Yep, more. Yep, more. I want
tell
more.
me when you're done.
What you're saying is focus shredding.
This was focus shredding. Have you ever seen Alton Brown on Food Network or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay. When he puts pepper, he doesn't have a pepper grinder. He doesn't like to do this. What does he do? He puts a drill on a coffee grinder and grates his pepper through that. That's this song. Metallica took the drill out, and to me, this is the heaviest fucking song they've done since the 80s. This is the fastest, heaviest, most progressive. James kills it on the vocals here. The lyrics for this song are a mouthful.
Top notch.
But they are the story that he's telling about machines invasion taking over. God, kills.
That's a history band. That's all that we've been writing about.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it just, man, I love the distorted bass in the middle. The boom, bada boom, wow, wow, boom, bada boom, wow, wow, boom, bada boom, wow, wow. This song gets beautiful and ugly at different parts, and it's perfect for it.
The best of ways.
Yes, it's. I love the stop breathing and dedicate to me, stop dreaming and terminate for me, all meaning you dedicate to me, all feelings you terminate for me. And what's awesome, there can actually be a neat little James double meaning shit. This could be us becoming slaves to our own devices.
For sure.
To cell phones, to social media, to, like we are becoming so connected that it's like, yes, this is a dystopian future type song, but you strip away the sci-fi and it can have real world meanings. With that being said,
not as far as you think.
Oh, I know, right? We are not too far away from RoboCop Detroit. With that big company owning the police and trying to rebuild Delta City. But with that being said, I'll shoot it over to Dick.
Dude, I love this fucking song. This is my favorite song on the album. If Halo on Fire isn't, this is.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one it's tied with. But I might as well just go ahead and say this is my favorite because this is the banger of the album. I love the lyrics. I love the theme of the lyrics, despite how cheesy it is to talk about like robots rising up. Like we haven't done that a million fucking times, but it's like so good. Like I don't even care how cheesy this is because it works. Huh?
The gang of the album.
Oh yeah, and the fact that it. Why couldn't we get this earlier and then not had disc 2? That's what I'm saying. I would have been happy with a seven track Hardwired to Self-Destruct where it's just banger city. But this song,
I've been singing that shit for fucking albums.
Yeah.
Albums.
This song is just a straight banger all the way through. It rips. And it's like the closest you get to hearing James Hetfield actually like dig into the false folds of his vocal cords. Like spit out the bone. Like, he fucking gets it. I love how you can hear every little grit of his voice in the recording. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right, we'll shoot it over to Nick.
I thought throughout, the vocals themselves were incredibly strong. The lyrics also were really good. The riffs were cool. And the guitar solo really kicks a lot of ass. Not my favorite by far. But it was definitely top half of the whole album. They definitely they weren't asleep at the wheel for this one. Like I might argue they were for a couple others. So Spit Out the Bone. It did not fucking ignite a fire in me, but it's worth mentioning. Pretty good song.
Nate.
Breakneck intro. A big fuck you to any haters that are saying Metallica is old. Right out the gate, that was my first thought. Like,
Yeah.
you guys think we're washed up and can't do this? Bitch, please let me show you what I can still do, and let me show you at what level I can still do it. And I really appreciate that. Like almost not really ego, but I guess it's kind of ego-y. Super thrashy. Another tune that definitely, Brandon, you touched on it, has that social media like presence of feelings and talking about the fact that it's taking over everybody's lives and changing our thoughts and affecting how we actually feel on a day-to-day basis. How many times you've seen people say, I got to get off social media because I'm seeing other people's negative posts. It's making me feel like shit all the time. I got to stop it. This song, a great way to look at that. The guitar lead, again, has a Fuel vibe. It's not Fuel, but it has that vibe. Building intro towards the end of the song into a pretty nifty solo to a chorus outro is unique for Metallica. They literally cut back to the start of the song, and then they build to a solo. They do one final chorus outro, and the song is over, and it kicks, and you're just like, whoa, we're there. We ended it. We did it. But I remember first time I heard Spit Out the Bone, I was like, holy shit. These guys have at least 2 good albums left in them, I think, after this one, at least. With the way their age, they're able to still perform. Spit Out the Bone has a total of 57 live performances, and that's all I got to say about that.
Nick, did you have something to add?
No.
I saw your finger go up like, I got something.
I really appreciate you noticing that, though. Yeah. I do.
Well,
a lot of times you have something to interject with.
Oh, well. You know, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to look over here at the screen instead of just over here to make sure that I'm lined up. And so I'm trying to make sure everybody gets their piece in because, I mean, if anybody missed anything about what we had to say, definitely try to, to call it up. Don't let it go by for sure. But we're at the ranks. Last song on the album. Time to rank it. Nate.
Well, I'm going to take back my saying that Atlas Rise is the best song on the album because I realized that my inability to read caused me to say that. Spit Out the Bone is my favorite only by 0.5 because yes, I gave Spit Out the Bone a 9.80. Again, Nick is looking at me like, what the fuck? And remember, it's only within this album that I'm giving these ranks, not as an overall, because obviously this song is nowhere near a 10 as compared to one Master of Puppets, things of that nature.
And that's a fun thing coming to realize as we move through this. We've all got different views on how we're doing it. So I try not to, I like for the people watching, I'm okay with the expressions, but I don't need to always express it verbally, So for those watching, they probably have noticed by now when people make their votes and I'm just like.
So Nick, what is your rank, bud?
I give it a 7. Which again, we all agree is pretty high for Nick. Yeah, I really liked it. Like I said, just to wrap it up, I love this album. Going back, like I would say, like I really, really liked Black, and then Load had a bunch of good stuff on it, and then Reload had a couple good things. So if you look at from that standard, from Reload, it was Magnetic before I was like, oh, I'm fucking in. And then Hardwired was like, oh, I don't even need to compare. I'm just in. I'm just about it, and I fucking love it. So, it feels so good. Like we keep saying, and you were good at it. You're like, this is the final album for now. Like, yeah, it's the final album for now. But in my opinion, like, it's, you know, it was high and it went a little low and it's gone up, but it's only gone back up. So, you know, if Metallica puts out another album that's lackluster, then okay. But I wouldn't be surprised if they put out another album that I fucking love. So, yeah, despite what insane ratings you guys give these songs, I'm still satisfied with what I got.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Dick, what do you got?
10.
10. I'm with you.
What?
I was waiting. I was totally waiting for it. That was a delayed cringe.
Yeah, but you don't have to wait, or you don't have to drink for.
How do I not give my favorite song on the album a 10?
Well, and it's varied, because you know, as Nick said, he's comparing Spit Out the Bone to Master of Puppets. Is it as good as Master of Puppets?
Oh, hell no.
And no. But see, I'm taking of the mind of any song that I've given a 10 to, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So like, I go back and look at my own 10s, and I'm thinking of 10s as rarefied air. You know, like, these are the best songs that Metallica has. Maybe this song isn't as good as Master of Puppets 10, but as far as like what they're capable of, I feel like they brought it, and they nailed it. James nailed his part. Solo was badass. They had some cool little homages to some Cliff bass interlude stuff going on there. This was the love letter to stuff that they liked to do from back in the day, and they burst off a lot of different other genres of rock and heavy metal that they put in through the entire album. It's not all just this. Whereas if you listen to Justice, it's every song is kind of like Justice. You have a couple of songs that shine higher, yeah, but go ahead.
I think that this absolutely shines above. I think it shines above everything they've done for fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, despite all biases, I mean, we're talking about Death Magnetic, which was sick. We're talking about Saint Anger. We're talking about Garage, which doesn't count.
No.
But then your reloads and your loads. I think despite Load and Reload coming out 30 years ago, this is some of the best Metallica that they've ever put out. So I think it's fucking exciting.
Absolutely. It's a great time to be a fan. Yeah, you know, and I'm happy too, and it's a great time to be a fan. And we know that there's a new album coming out. They're talking about it. They want to get it out sooner than later, especially with everything going on, you know, where they could have a little bit more time right now to work. And they don't want that 8-year gap that they had in between Death Magnetic and Hardwired. So when they do another album, we'll be right here to add to the Metallica ranks. Maybe we won't do it right away. We'll let it sit for a little bit, because that way we're not just going off and be like first reactions. Because obviously, just like
this
I
one
said,
took a few years. Yeah.
I mean, because this one was a few years ago, and there's a few songs in here that have grown on me since then, and my rank kind of reflects that. If I would have ranked it when I first heard it, it probably would have been a little bit lower. But
sure.
But overall, no, go ahead.
Yeah, because like when I was, we're talking 2016.
Yeah.
Now I was listening to a lot of like heavy fucking metal.
Yeah.
A lot of death metal kind of shit. And even though I loved and appreciated Metallica, no. Unfortunately, new Metallica, it is not at the forefront of heavy fucking metal, like death metal, all that shit. That's not where they're at. but that doesn't mean that they are not. They define a whole fucking sector of metal, you know. So Metallica does not need to be the best death metal band around. They don't need to be the best heavy metal band around. You know, they occupy their own fucking space. And when I years ago when I listened to Hardwired, I wasn't able to look at them in the context of their entire fucking discography. And now in 2020, looking at Metallica from the beginning to their latest, 2016, they've gone through it all. They've been high, they've been low, they've done soft shit, they've done hard shit, and their last performance,
They've been actual shit.
their last performance, Hardwired, stands up.
Yeah.
So bring it on, boys.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
Absolutely.
You're still fucking kicking it. So
For as long as you can. I mean, and they're getting up there in age too. Don't forget they're damn near 60. They're going to be 60 here going into this decade. And they're still playing shit like Spit Out the Bone and Halo on Fire and Moth into Flame. And they're still putting out songs of that caliber.
Hell yeah.
That's great. Well, to wrap it up here, my overall album rank was an 8.45. Nate's was an 8.52. Dick was a 8. And Nick's was a 6.22 with a master rank of 7.8. And
Ooh, I can't wait to see where that actually ends up at the end, because we haven't talked about where everything's lined up now. And we know where maybe the bottom is. We know who's the worst, but we don't know where everything else kind of filters in there. I can't wait to talk about it.
If you've been keeping score along, then you know. But on the next episode, we're going to be talking about S&M 2. We're going to be doing a big wrap up where we're going to look at all the the ranking orders of all that. We're going to look at some of the highest rated songs, the lowest rated songs. We're going to be going through and doing a lot of cool different stuff. Maybe make up our own live show set lists. And so I am expecting that show to run long just for us to sit back and just have a lot of fun and just talk and just BS about some of our favorite Metallica stuff. And so maybe the best idea, as we're going into the holidays here, is to kind of record that maybe, I don't know, like when we don't really have to worry about time constraints so much. Just kind of
Sure, for sure.
Like here in a couple of weeks, we got, I'm going to have some time off. Dick's going to have some time off, and we'll try and get that together to where hopefully we can all just sit back and gush for however long we need to gush and just have fun.
Because we joked about how maybe particularly Dick and I, that it's not a sloth, but a challenge. It's a lot. We went, what was it, 8, 9 albums? And we were trying, none of us were trying to just like fucking off the cuff. We wanted to make sure that we listened and we wrote notes and we said shit that was worthwhile.
Well, you guys did.
No.
Well, because they are the hardcore number ones, and Dick and I were dragging along. But the overall experience for me, before just real quick, is that I've listened to about half their discography. And I'd been familiar with about the other half. So this was a good chance to get, my feet dipped into the entire thing. And it's been a fucking wonderful experience. And it's felt like it's a really fucking long experience. But I fucking love Metallica. And it was unfair of me to have a Metallica opinion without knowing everything. And this podcast has been, for me, as I hope it is with the people listening, an experience through with which you can say, I love Master and I love Justice, but I like to feel that opinions like maybe myself and Dick, who are not as familiar, as we're diving through the rest of the shit, you're able to find a love for that shit. And it's been so much fun.
Hell yeah. And thankfully, as far as we're all concerned, this is just the beginning, because we're going to be doing this with some of our other favorite bands and artists as we go along. And there's going to be other long treks we've talked about to do some other bands that have long discographies that even myself, I've listened to a lot of stuff, but every nuanced track or anything like that, or this off beaten path album, maybe I haven't given as much attention or listened to as hard. And That way, you know, as you said, you get to absorb it, and you can calculate that along with the other songs that you do know and that you do like, and you can actually form like a really informed opinion of, you know what, I listened to it and I paid attention.
That is so much of it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I would have a half-assed opinion about, you know, this or that in the Metallica discography, and it's like,
Now I have a definitive.
how hard have you listened? Have you heard one song off that one album and you decided that you don't like that album because of that one song? And it's been super fun because Metallica is one that I absolutely loved, but hadn't delved into half their discography. So I think what's fun with this podcast is that we're offering an interesting bridge, whereas we've got two people like Nate and Brando who are really, really familiar with the band we're talking about, and then you've got guys like Dick and I who really love the band, but also don't have the fullest fucking opinion of. So
it balances it out nicely. It's not like having two novices and two experts, but it's having a wide array of people who within the community of Metallica like and latch on to certain things. And Nick, I can tell you just from doing the show so far with you, your taste buds in music and Brando's taste buds and my taste buds and Dick's taste buds, they don't always click on the same, but when they do, it's obvious, and we all do find a lot of common ground within these songs that we do love. And that's been kind of the most rewarding thing for me, is like reaffirming not only that I'm a fan, but that my friends who I know are fans, like that we got to share this experience. No one can take this away from us now. This is awesome.
No, it was a truly fantastic experience. And this is not the finale or anything, but it does it not feel like it?
Well, we
In some
finally
ways,
made it.
yeah.
I mean, we made
Is
it.
it not? Is the end, like we finally made it.
Like,
and
then the next episode is just a party. We're just gonna hang out and have some fun.
So
Yeah. So
damn, this was so much fun.
hell yeah, dude, I'm down. But I mean, at almost 3 hours, we're gonna have to wrap this sucker up and move on, and we'll see you guys on the next episode where we talk about S&M 2 and all the other stuff and gush, and talk about maybe some of the plans we have for the future, maybe what other stuff we may be doing. But if you haven't already, which I'm sure if you made it to the end of this, you've already listened to this damn thing, so you know where to find it on all those podcast services that we're on, and at rankemall.rocks and on YouTube and all that stuff. Check us out on social medias where we're going to be posting pictures of the scores as we go along for each and every album. So like once we do an album and then we release it, you're going to see all that stuff on our socials as well. But for Dick Tyner, Nick Maxon, Nate Phillips, I've been Brando, and it is time that we disappear like man was never here. Until next time, guys, this has been Rank 'Em All. Later on.
Yee.